on the defense. But no longer.
Hello everyone and welcome. Hope you guys are doing well. Today, my friends, we are back with ECL Season 6, Qualifier number 4. So it's been some time. Sorry about the kind of transition period there, but we should be back to our weekly schedule of having the ECL tournaments. All sorts of good stuff on the horizon. We got Faction Wars, we got some Wheel of Fortune streams, the Brackarth campaign, of course. Yeah, it's good. So that song is called BFG Division by Mick Gordon. It's from the 2016 Doom soundtrack, if anybody's looking for that bad boy. I really hope we get some Volkmar action. Volkmane, yes, Volkmar's majestic horse. Well, we'll probably see him. I do think that Volkmar probably is the most powerful lord overall for the Empire. Granted, Franz is pretty close, but I think Volkmar is one of those lords who really just straight up carries games. Yeah. Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and take a look, run it back a little bit, and see who's qualified already. So this is the 4th qualifier. The way that the ECL works, for anyone who's new to the channel, is basically there's 8 competitions in total. Well, 9 technically, including the finals. But there's 8 weeks of qualifiers. Each week, the individual who wins a $25 cash prize, and they qualify for a chance, well, they qualify to get into the grand finals, which is like a big ever-chosen style 8-man tournament that usually has a cash prize from anywhere to $300, $500, $700, depends on sponsors and all that sort of good stuff. So, folks who have already qualified, if we take a look at the top 8 for this season, in week 1, we had Falcon qualify. Week 2, it was Alfredinho. Week 3, it was Imperator. And today, we're going to be jumping in and taking a look at these contenders. So we have Ice Power Total War facing off against Void Lulls. And then on the bottom side of the bracket, we have the dreaded to be determined facing off against Migsa. So of course we're still waiting to see who is going to be getting there. Let me go ahead and see if they've gotten there. Oh, it's going to be Showtime. Okay, cool. So Showtime is going to be there. We can update that. Showtime, I believe, has gotten to the finals pretty consistently. Pretty much always in the top 4. So a very, very strong player. So that should be a very competitive bracket. Yes. I know. But Volkmar is one of those characters that, like, even if you're losing the game and, like, misplaying, like, he's strong enough and, like, under the right circumstances to just hard carry your game. Yeah, it's pretty crazy for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and get this game started. I'll let the players know. Start when ready. Go time. And we can jump into our first match. So Ice Power Total War going with the first pick Dark Elves, which is pretty uncommon for sure. And I believe he picked, let's see what his picks and bans were. Just have the screen blocker up right now. Yeah, he went Dark Elves, banning Bretonnia and Wood Elves, actually. Interesting. Yeah, Dark Elves are considered to have a fair amount of bad matchups, but Ice Power is a Dark Elf specialist. And oh my god, if we see Rakarth right now, that would be a pretty big balls play for sure. That would be some serious stuff. Yeah. Yeah, Migsa's been a solid tournament player for a long time. I remember in Warhammer 1 seeing Migsa's name quite a bit. So Migsa's been around for a long time. Whereas a lot of the players you guys see nowadays have mainly had their tenures in Warhammer 2 and, you know, came around in that time period. So that's it. That's it, guys. It's going to be good. How many have joined the qualifier? Today was a relatively small one. I think we had 70 players sign up. Yeah. Usually we have like 90 to 100, but today I only put it up last night. Like, so people only had like, you know, like 16 hours notice, give or take. Normally I have like 3 or 4 days, but it was just kind of an impulse. I was like, let's do it, man. Let's do it. All right, so let's load into the battle. This is going to be the first scrap here. So let's go ahead and have some fun. Ice Power Total War against Void Lulls. The dreaded duel of duels. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, Ice Power's been doing great. I believe the last 2 or 3... So we've had 3 ECL qualifiers. This is number 4. I believe in 2 of the previous 3 ECL qualifiers that Ice Power Total War did make it to the top 4. I'm fairly confident. I believe actually made it to the finals in 1, but it was against Felcon. So Ice Power had to play Felcon in a best of 5, which is certainly no easy feat. Felcon, of course, is a very, very tough opponent. So Rakarth on Big Daddy Brachus, please. That's a tough one. Greenskins, yeah, Greenskins could rampage it. Yeah, and he wouldn't be able to get rid of the rampage on himself. He can only do it against on his other units. But I don't know. Could we see a wild Rakarth pick? Maybe like Manticore Rakarth? Maybe. But Greenskins are pretty good at sniping. Vindictive Glares, rampaging effects, Rusty Errors, and like cheap Spider Rider poke. It's pretty hard to get away with big monsters in my experience here. So we will see what happens. Now for the forces here of the Greenskins, it's going to be Orc Boar Boys backed up by Stone Trolls and Goblins and Orc Biggins. Pretty standard, just a bunch of good stuff, right? It's like, you know, in Magic the Gathering, if you guys have ever played that, you have decks that are like, okay, this is a tribal deck, this is a control deck, and this is a good stuff deck. A good stuff deck just puts in a bunch of good cards and prospers. And this is pretty much the same, right? So you can see here that Void Lulls does have the Stone Trolls backed up with Biggins and Goblins, and of course does have a nice sniping kit. So we have the Night Goblin Shaman as well as the Orc Shaman. Orc Shaman's from Brainbuster on top of like Dark Shards, Shades, all that kind of good stuff. And then the Vindictive Glare caster here, the Night Goblin Shaman, is there to snipe casters. Really, really good against like Supreme Sorcerers and things like that. Now, aside from that, we got Spider Riders and Spider Riders and Spider Riders. Yes, pretty much everything in the army quite solid. And last but not least, we do have the dreaded Grom the Paunch. Grom the Paunch, an amazing lord. Very, very tough to snipe. Good against infantry. Honestly, does okay against like single entities too. If you pop his Axe of Grom here, he can hit pretty damn hard in conjunction with the Lucky Banner. So that puts him up to what, 80 melee attack with, you know, plus 50% base damage. That's pretty fat for sure. So Grom can be deceivingly very, very, yeah. Uro and Nissa in a nutshell, for sure, for sure. All right, guys. And now if we take a look at the armies of the Druki, yep, players are saying they're going to go get some water. Just give me a minute. Hey, you get that sweet water, man. You treat yourself. Oh, I got so excited. I was like, for a second, I was like, I saw a Manticore flapping its majestic wings over here, and I was like, oh, is that going to be Rakarth? But no, it's going to be Mrathi. And I understand. I probably would not pick Rakarth here. Also, you're facing a very tough opponent, and you're in the finals of a tournament, right? So here we have Mrathi, we have double Manticore. It's going to be the quad Scourge Runner with a bunch of Dark Riders as well, double Repeater Crossbow, and Slaanesha's Harvesters in the back. So this is a super micro-intensive build, super micro-intensive. But you know, Ice Power's been playing a lot. Of course, you guys have probably seen the video we put up on the channel about Anticity's ranked ladder. Ice Power Total War, one of the top ranked players on there, getting a lot of repetitions in against really strong players. So I'm sure he knows what he is doing. What is the ECL? So the ECL is a competitive league. It's much like other esports leagues that you see in other games, and basically it's just 8 major tournaments followed up by one grand final, which takes all of the winners from the previous tournaments and pits them against each other to see who is the best of the best. So it's a very, very fun format. The dreaded full mobility build. Yeah, it's very cool. No Rackhearth, I know. It's going to be tough to see Rackhearth. Can Greenskins compete without Spider Riders? Yeah, they can, but they're really, really important to their roster. Very, very strong. Very, very strong piece indeed. So yeah, mobility build versus a very more, static Greenskin build for sure. Not static, but he does have some counter skirmishing via the Spider Riders, but 4 Scourge Runners plus 2 repeater crossbows, that's a lot of punch for sure. Good luck, have fun. Let's see how this game unfolds. This is game 1, so the quarterfinals or semifinals here. Semifinals are best of 3, and the grand finals, which will be taking place after both best of 3s have finished, are going to be best of 5. So 2 best of 3s and a best of 5 is what you guys have tuned in for today. And now the dreaded Druki do move forward, and the Scourge Runners just going to start eliminating the Greenskin mobility, probably, or doing their best to do so. Void Laws with some nice juking here, but nonetheless, a couple of goblins do get kind of poked down. The Greenskins advancing with the Death's Creepers up in the front, but Ice Power is very, very quick to pull back there, and he should be able to mitigate most of that damage. But yeah, it's very much going to be a game of cat and mouse. I don't think that the Greenskins are in a huge rush to advance here. Granted, I think it might not be a bad idea, but I guess he just kind of wants to feel out the skirmish game and see how this phase is going to go. But Dark Elves, I think, do have an advantage in that respect. The Scourge Runners have really, really incredible range at 150 compared to 100 on Spider Riders. But again, it might be a thing where Void Laws is like, okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to let the Scourge Runners use as much ammunition as possible on my Spider Riders, and then that takes a lot of pressure off the Trolls, right? Because aside from that, you got the Repeater Crossbow Cavalry and the Mancores, I guess, to fight the Trolls and Marathi, but yeah, Scourge Runners are one of the main pieces here that are very, very good against the big Troll tools. So, Lich109, thank you for the donation kicking off the stream. He says, something I realized lately, Rackhart's Beast Lord's gaze. Why can Rackharth gaze at himself while Sigvald can't? I know, Sigvald should have his own gaze, and he should be able to look at himself and get, like, unbreakable for a period of time or something. That'd be pretty funny, but yeah. I think the Greenskins are just going to take a defensive posture, just kind of get that poke and stroke going. Forest Goblin Spider Riders here are definitely taking some damage, and right now Ice Power is going to be moving up his repeater crossbows, and seems to be doing pretty well in the trade. But, Ice Power's army, of course, aside from his missile play, it's mostly Dark Riders, so he really needs to make sure to maximize the value from his Scourge Runners and other pieces, and it seems to be going fine. Soul Stealer is also a huge part of it. He's going to try and blob up the Greenskins and get Marathi and the Mancores, or, send in a single Mancecore, try and bait in a lot of Greenskin units, and then from there basically use the old Soul Stealer to kind of do their thing here. So we will see how this goes. Over here on the far side, you can see that the Forest Goblin Spider Riders are starting to waver, and if they do waver, having some Dark Riders on standby, like right over here to chase them off the battlefield, would be very strong. And they're wavering. They're at 9 leadership. Looks like they're just barely holding on. And now some of the Stone Trolls actually taking a substantial amount of focus fire. It also looks like Ice Power is going to be overloading this flank a little bit. You can see that as far as the army of Void Laws goes, he's very, very much like kind of, a lot of his army's over here. And there's a couple free elements over here, right? There's a free pawn, the Goblins. So the Goblins going to get charged by Dark Riders. Manticore's kind of swooping in, and it looks like, ooh, a really nice brain buster there by Void Laws. That was a thing of beauty right there, man. Right on top of those Dark Riders. And yeah, that was a little bit unfortunate for him. But I mean, as far as stopping power, 39 and 40. So they're still more or less at full combat capacity. Right now, the Greenskins kind of backing up here and just forming a little bit of a screen with the Goblins, but the Mancores are pushing in. And yeah, basically, Dark Elves are just waiting for a big Soul Stealer, right? They have a little bit of room. They could sweep behind here if they wanted to. But on the far side, Dark Riders pushing forward, trying to break those Spider Riders, but now it looks like the Trolls are going to be sent forward. Scourge Runners are running a little bit low on ammo, so things are going to have to get down and dirty. And there is actually a Soul Stealer, and it's a good one. It hits both Orc Boar Boys. Also a Doom Bolt coming in, which does take out a couple models as well. But the Mancores are not nearby. I was actually expecting maybe a Manticore to engage here, but now the Dark Riders are going to be pulling back while a Word of Pain is used by these Slaanesha's Harvesters. So that looked to be a Soul Stealer actually from the Harvesters. Yeah, this is good. So the Greenskins are being forced back a little bit. The superior Dark Elf mobility and the monsters. This is probably going to be some terror routes going down, right? And Marathi can come in and debuff them. This is a really, really nice pick for the Dark Elves here. Now the rest of the Greenskin army is kind of moving forward a little bit. So the Orc Biggins and other troops. While Grom the Paunch is surrounded by Dark Riders, but a really nice bait by Void Laws also. Able to bait the Dark Riders into a blob and then brain busted them. So the brain busters have been the big saving grace here for the Greenskins this game. But on that same note, a massive rout in the backfield. Orc Boar Boys getting absolutely trash canned with Spider Riders, and the Mancores, as well as the Harvesters and other units, are going to be able to shatter them and chase them down, really removing a substantial portion. Now, ammunition on Scourge Runners is very low. Repeater crossbows are doing okay. But yeah, Greenskins, I would say, probably took the brunt of that. Losing your 2 Orc Boar Cavalry for very little cost back here. I think it was basically just 1 Soul Stealer from the Harvesters, plus, you know, half HP off a Dark Rider. That's very, very strong. So Ice Power doing a pretty good job picking apart this army so far here. Nonetheless, Bounce Power still even, and that's largely due to the ammunition. So it's something to consider. So here comes the Scourge Runner Chariots moving in, maybe looking to charge. Definitely don't want to here. And they pull back immediately with Grom the Paunch and the Trolls kind of moving out. Ice Power's got to use his ammunition as much as he can, you know, prepare for that Alpha Strike. Whittle away what you can, especially if you could break a Troll. If you could break a Stone Troll with like some, you know, little poke and stroke here. For example, get these Trolls to overchase the Chariots and wrap them up with Manticores, break them and chase them off the battlefield. I think that might actually just be a win. Here's a nice pick. Harvester's going in, get a nice little rear charge. Manticore's going in as well. Looks like there is going to be a blob fight, which I think is what the Druki want. As long as they don't get a Manticore traps here, this Soul Stealer is going to be so sexy. Degradans is here, and where's the Soul Stealer? Boom! The base is dropped. The Soul Stealer nails the entire Greenskin army, and right there, the Stone Trolls are actually terrified, despite the Scroll of Shielding, and Degradans is here, but that is Value City, and you can see Ice Power really does pull ahead here in this battle. Beautiful stuff for sure. So, pulling back right now, and again, this is what you can do. You have plenty of ammunition here with the Druki. You just wait, you hang out, wait for a Soul Stealer to come off cooldown, rinse and repeat, do that exact same thing, and use your Scourge Runners that are out of ammunition to chase things off the battlefield. I think that's quite nice. Hey, Super Dog Ham, thank you so much for the donation, man. Really appreciate that. We got this party started. We're having fun. Thank you, Super Dog Ham, for the 15. Looks like a Doombolt coming down on the ROR Night Goblins. Gets a couple kills right there. And right now, the Dark Riders just kind of picking off whatever they can, although these ones might get trapped here. Looks like the Troll Toll might be paid as the Stone Trolls move in. Stone Trolls do have regeneration, so does Grom the Paunch, so there's a little bit of durability and kind of staying power in this Greenskin army, but yeah, there are the Shattered Goblin Wolf Riders here, and Ice Power does have the Dark Rider Repeater Crossbows kind of just shooting in. So Marathi, if she only, I think I've only seen her use 1 Soul Stealer. I think the other one was from the Harvesters. So Marathi should be able to get at least 2 more Soul Stealers, which if done correctly, you know, pacing out your ammunition, the Greenskin army is very blobbed up here and, you know, pretty damn vulnerable too. Scourge Runner Chariots are still pretty good against infantry, you know, as far as Chariots go. They don't have as much mass as like Cold Ones, but right now what's happening is Ice Power is going to be jumping in, and he is going to be getting another beautiful Soul Stealer. Just going to jump into the Manticores, rinse and repeat, do the exact same thing. Let's see if Void Laws commits heavily this time and pushes in. I think a big proper surround with the, oh god, the Soul Stealers are so nasty, man. I mean, Dark Elves might as well just be called the, yeah, some Lore of Soul Stealer, I don't know, something Dark Elf Faction Soul Stealer, you guys get the joke, but yeah, that's really nice. That hits the entire Greenskin army again. Balance of Power is now visibly in the favor of the Dark Elves. But yeah, a couple Dark Riders were sacrificed, but the Stone Trolls here are completely broken. And with the mobile advantage, there's absolutely no way that the Stone Trolls should come back. I mean, some of the Dark Riders should chase them down. It would be a huge blunder here for the Dark Elves if they don't chase down the 12 Stone Trolls. Those things are still at full fighting capacity. Something needs to chase them off the battlefield. Let's see if the Dark Elves can do it. Now, 1 Manticore's Rampage, that's a really, really nice pick for Void Lulls. Perhaps a step in the right direction for getting back in this game. Chariot slamming over here into Spider Riders might be able to break them. They take a fair amount of damage on impact, and yeah, now the Trolls are getting chased off. And there's 12 Trolls fighting there, right? So when you chase those bad boys down, besides Ruchi noises every game otherwise. Oh, okay, I thought you guys were saying I didn't have sound on, but there should be sound on. I'm pretty sure I checked that before the stream. Void Laws might have some scrap in them. I think, like I said, I'm pretty sure Marathi has enough Winds of Magic for 1 more Soul Stealer. And the Greenskin leadership on most of these units is so poor that what you do is you basically just get a full surround with the Chariots and Marathi's debuffs, and this Greenskin army is just going to buckle. And that will be pretty much all she wrote. But yeah, a very methodical Dark Elf game so far, but Void Law is staying in there, keeping his army together, not giving away anything for free, really. Not like he has anything getting caught out. He's keeping his forces high and tight here, and we'll see. Now, Marathi certainly, you know, has the capabilities of finishing off Grom as well. She is an anti-large duelist and will do well. But Grom, of course, has the Axe of Grom, Lucky Banner, Great Uns is here, so he's no slouch in that combat either. So the Dark Elves going to be moving in, getting ready to push in with their final force here. We do have these Scourge Runner Chariots getting ready to attack, and we will see how this unfolds. Dean Horn, hey bud, longtime lurker, greetings from the UK. Are you excited for the Dowie to get any love before Warhammer 3? I would love that, but sadly, I do not think that's going to happen. For some reason, I just don't see the dwarves getting... I think what could happen is, like, maybe when the Chaos Dwarves come out, maybe there could be a DLC where it's them versus the OG Dwarves. So the OG Dwarves get, like, an update, and Chaos Dwarves are, like, getting an update. Yeah, that would be my guess. For some reason, I feel like Beastmen will get something, but I don't know. Beastmen against Dwarves as a DLC seems kind of weird, too. I feel like they would do a Warhammer 2 faction and a Warhammer 1 faction, as they usually have. But Dark Elves coming in for a big surround. Void Laws getting ready to party. And now it's time. The Dark Elves collapse. And here it goes, man. That's such a cool looking thing, right? Just all the Dark Elves just going in deep. And yeah, the Greenskin army is going to buckle in leadership. And yeah, it looks like another Soul Stealer as well. Grom the Paunch gets attacked by Marathi. Yeah, that would be the only way. If there was like a big throw and Marathi got like picked or just like left to fight Grom, and the Manscore's here, there's Terror coming in, Stone Trolls are broken. And it's looking like, yeah, this is going to be a point of no return for the Greenskins, I think. Although stranger things have happened, man. Grom is a beast for sure. The Feral Manscore does have the itchy nuisance. But how's leadership, man? These Unbreakable Goblins really giving quite a backbone here to this army. The Orc Shaman would also be a really good snipe. You could like pull back this Manscore and go snipe that Orc Shaman, maybe leave the Chariots in combat a little bit. But yeah, the Manscore's just kind of sitting and chilling right there. And Rathi's going to come in for a cycle charge on Grom, trying to break his leadership. But it really doesn't look like, unless there's a huge blunder, that the Greenskins will have any chance of coming back here in this game. So here they go. Yeah, it was very cinematic for sure. Like a huge Dark Elf surround. The Dark Riders emerge from the trees. And the Manscore getting in there. And, you know, a lot of people kind of, in the past couple of months, have really been giving Dark Elves a hard time. And I think fairly so in many regards. But it's pretty cool to see someone who's like really a Dark Elf specialist come in against another top-tier player, against a very strong faction, and do well with them, you know? Here is the Night Goblin Shaman. He is worn down. We have the Orc Shaman and Grom the Paunch. Those guys look like they're in some trouble. And I think that's going to be it. That will be all she wrote. The Greenskins will fight to the bitter end, but Mom Rathi will certainly be able to take out all these units. I mean, maybe not the goblins and whatnot, but a little bit of lag here. So that's it. GG. Well played. Ice Power Total War taking game 1 in the best of 3 in the semifinals of ECL Season 6, qualifier number 4. And there you have it. And there you have it. Sean says he's about to invest in a new computer. Do it, man. Come join the party. And again, Dean Horn, Super Dog, and Lich109, thank you guys so much for your donations. Appreciate that. So yeah, Marathi is a beast as always. Like Marathi Soul Stealers and FFAs in every format you use her. She's by far the best Dark Elf Lord, in my humble opinion. Repeater Crossbows did good. Scourge Runner Skull got respectable value. Manscores even did well, except one of them kind of got gooned early. But, you know, it was a good army. Just methodical Soul Stealer timings, and that's that. The Brain Busters from Void Laws were very good, but in the end, too much value was accrued. Those Soul Stealers just nailed that army like twice over, and that was it. That was it. All right. So let's go ahead and update the scoreboard. Ice Power up 1. We'll see if he can get to the finals once again. And now we can go to the lobby and hang out. GG, well played. All right. So next we are going to do... We can go back to Old Faithful. Map set. They might have already played this map today, but I'm not sure. It's a good map, so we're just going to use it. It's fine. The Brave Goblins. Yes. They were quite brave indeed. Yeah, it was some good Dark Elf play. Very, very smooth for sure. Yeah. Let's see. 3 to 4 shots from the Shaman and all missed, he's saying? Okay, so I think he's saying that his Shaman was like, you know, not doing his thing. G Beatty says, I just got a new monitor to watch my vids in 4K. Hey man, I'm glad you got your new monitor. One of my friends just gave us like a big nice TV as a kind of a housewarming gift thing, and unfortunately it's defective, so hopefully your monitor is or screen is treating you well. Every match is Pillar of Bone? No. I'm specifically going to avoid Pillar of Bone because pretty much all my tournaments end up being on Pillar of Bone. So we're trying to go a different direction with it here. So Ice Power versus Batman. Batman is Void Laws. He's just having some fun playing under Batman here today. Yeah. We're going. One sec, guys. Going to grab some water real quick, and I'll be back in just a hot moment while these players pick their armies. All right, I'm back. Let's go ahead and see what the picks and bans are. It looks like Void Laws is doing perhaps the Wood Elves, contemplating that, but hasn't been finalized quite yet. Don't have to worry about Dark Elves again from Ice Power. Of course, they've already been put on the table. Hey, Oiva, thank you for the $2. Appreciate that. Or £2 or euros. I can't quite see that from here. That monitor is a little bit small. The All Pillar Tournament. Yes, the Total War Warhammer Pillar of Bone. Man, okay, so Batman, aka Void Laws, is going Wood Elves, banning Bretonia and Empire, I think is what he's saying. I'm not sure. He might be IMP. He's banning Tyrion Lannister, the Imp. I think it's Empire though. Yeah, okay. So Wood Elves banning Bretonnian Empire. So that leaves open a multitude of factions. Yeah, should be fun. We could see a wild Chaos pick if you want to kind of play that wide, aggressive style of play with, Warp Chicken, Sigvald. There's a ton of options to go with, but I would imagine Void Laws is going to try some really, really sneaky Wood Elf treachery here to get back on the board, but it is best of 3. Can you highlight the picks and bannings? Yeah, so we just went over it right now. Right now, the Wood Elves have banned the Empire and Bretonnia. Honestly, I feel like Wood Elves versus Empire is a pretty even matchup, but again, it comes down to preference in many cases. Wood Elves are incredibly strong right now. So as far as Wood Elf hard counters go, I'm a little bit out of the loop. I haven't been playing much the past 2 weeks up until like a day or two ago. So I'd have to kind of rethink that. But honestly, Wood Elves are a very, very strong faction. Very, very strong faction. Eidos, yes, we will be doing our Rackhearth campaign stream tomorrow. Yes, we're going to try and finish it actually and see if we can get through it. Because we're on like turn 48 in that campaign and it feels like it's a really, really quick one. Yeah. Have you ever done a tournament with only the worst maps? Yes, we have. It was actually a King of the Hill. It wasn't like a tournament, but we did a King of the Hill where every single map was just like a god awful, just piece of shit. It was really fun. We might do that again. Maybe this week we'll do something. Hooligan Tuesday, 6 a.m. in Australia, early shift and nothing happening. Perfect time. Hey man, I got you covered. Hope all is well out there. Yeah, we're going hard. Are there going to be more bans as soon as Warhammer 3? Yeah, we're gonna have to reevaluate that. Yeah. Because it's going to be the Wild West. What we're coming into Game 3 with 6 new factions. Man, faction wars are going to be super hype when that happens. Bretonnia should be back to being the proper Wood Elf counter after the nerfs to some Elf Lords. Okay, yeah. Oh, did they nerf Orion and Ariel? And yeah, Ariel isn't unbreakable anymore, right? She can be broken, so that's something to consider. I didn't really look at the patch notes too in depth. I probably should. I don't play Wood Elves too often, so. So right now, Ice Power. Total Rar is trying to come up with his faction pick here. He's good at a bunch of factions. I like Chaos against Wood Elves, actually. I feel like it's maybe slightly Wood Elf favored, but maybe after the nerfs. Who knows? A little bit different, perhaps. Lore Master of Sotek finished Rackhearth in one stream, so it won't take you long. How long was the stream? Was it like 6-7 hours? And was he playing on, what difficulty was he on? Yeah, it depends. That depends, too. I think if it were just on like, if you're on like very hard, hard or whatever, I think you could probably finish Rackhearth in like 60 turns pretty easily. But on Legendary, maybe a little bit longer, but not that much longer. I think Rackhearth is like a 70 to 100 turn campaign, which is perfect. That's like the sweet spot. Yeah, this is a strong pick. Ice Power going with Greenskins. I really agree with that decision. He says the OP Greenskins. Yeah, I think that's good. Biggins, Spider Riders, live long and prosper, Cackle, Gork, Mork. You guys get the picture. So you guys get the picture. Mono Gods, Kislev, and Cathay plus DLC faction. Yeah, probably. So yeah, there's going to be potentially 7 factions, right? That's wild. It's going to be wild. I'm super excited. Have you got any tips for new players who are looking to get into the Wood Elf faction? Yeah, Way Watchers are very good, but times have kind of changed a little bit. Yeah, Wood Elves are a pretty dynamic faction now. Like you can play Rush. Like, you can really play Rush, or you can play Kite. That's what's cool about them. Like, and they have pretty viable Rush builds on a lot of matchups, as well as viable Kite builds. So, pro tips, man, it's hard to say. They are a glass cannon faction, so you certainly want to, work on your micro and making sure, positioning your missile pieces and making sure your timing is right. That's all really general advice, though. I don't have any Wood Elf specific advice I could give you. I'm not the best Wood Elf player. I'm okay at them. Matt Errors, thanks for the great content, man. Hey, I got you. Thanks for hanging around. The Moondial is a pretty beach map. Don't mind if there's a cliff on it, though, isn't there? Yeah. Matt, appreciate that donation, man. We're going. Ice Power Total War is here. The Greenskins versus the Wood Elves. 2 top-tier factions for sure. Hey, Turin, first Clan War, now ECL. Yeah, it's been a good day. Jay Phoenix, how'd the Clan War go, by the way? I know we had a Clan War that I believe Valkanos was it Valkanos casting it, or was it someone else? And he was with, was it RTK versus QSA? You might have to stop faction wars with 22 factions. Hell no, dude. We're going hard. Those faction wars are going to be thick. It's going to be super fun. What about Wood Elf counters? So a lot of people consider Wood Elves to be countered by heavy cavalry, right? So Bretonnia being the kind of main one there. I think Bretonnia against the average Wood Elf player still has, a pretty good matchup. And with some of the nerfs the Wood Elves just got, Bretonnia probably is their best proper counter, I would say. But you still have to be, a good Bretonnian player. You can't just pick Bretonnia. It's not like Vampire counts versus Chaos, where you can just kind of mouth breathe while your Mortis engine just kills all their shit, RTK won 5-4. Hey, that sounds like a ferocious battle. Now, were they best of threes, or did like each player in your clan war play like 1 and 1 and 1 and 1, or how did it get there? Yeah, I'm curious. By the way, did you guys see the new vampire count models that they're doing for Age of Sigmar? And I'm just going to say vampire count because they basically are vampire count models. It's Blood Knights, it's Fellbats, it's Vampire Lords. I actually thought they looked really cool, and it kind of led me to believe that when Old World comes out for Warhammer Fantasy and Tabletop, I think they're just going to like use those as like Warhammer Fantasy models and just give them different names. Yeah. And then add some other ones, right? Wood Elves, Greenskins, Skaven. Yeah, I would say Greenskins, Skaven, Wood Elves, yeah, they're all top tier factions. They would all be in the top of the rung, in my opinion. We haven't seen too much Skaven lately, though. I don't know. Throth the Unclean just got nerfed, too. That could change things. Brood Horrors got nerfed. But even before the Molder DLC, Skaven were in a very good position. Yeah. Yeah, Bretonia is an interesting faction. I think, didn't Fey Enchantress just get nerfed, too? Some of you guys might know. I don't remember off the top of my head, so I think they did. Yeah, there's some factions that are like mouth-breathing factions where you don't have to like micro too much. You just like move your army forward and then just like flank with some cavalry, and that's it. You're like, all right, I'm going to move my infantry forward with my lord behind them, and my cavalry are going to go on the flanks, and there's nothing else going on. That's it. Yeah. 4 1v1s, 2 2v2s, and 1 3v3. Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun, actually. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. All right, looks like the players are just about ready. Go look, have fun. Let's see how this battle unfolds. Void Laws is ready. Just have to wait for Ice Power, and then we'll be good. Fey Enchantress didn't get nerfed? Okay, yeah. Yeah, Bretonia is a really strong faction, for sure. I mean, Fey Enchantress double Paladin is incredibly powerful. Yeah, okay. Skaven Slave cost nerf. Oh, did they get a cost increase? Skaven Slaves, really? I'm trying to think, like, what would you guys say is like the biggest mouth breather faction in multiplayer? In campaign, a lot of things are mouth breathing because you just mass like a million range units with like single entities or just like a doom stack of Shaggots, But in terms of multiplayer, what would you guys say are the biggest mouth breather factions? I'd be curious to see your opinions on this. All Skaven Slaves plus 25 gold. Okay, it's not the end of the world, but it certainly sucks. Yeah. Yeah. I think Skaven will still be very strong, though. Yeah, but that definitely hits them. Hits them pretty good. The Brood Horrors were pretty good as well. All right, the players are loading in. We're on the Oakenhammer, the classic map. I think Oakenhammer is one of my favorite maps. Very, very fun stuff. Okay, so people are saying, here's what people are saying for mouth-breathing factions. Dwarf Box. Yeah, okay, Dwarf Box is pretty mouth-breathing for sure. Norska. Lizardman. Dwarfs, vampire counts. Okay, we're getting some varying opinions here, but I'm seeing a lot of dwarfs. A lot of people saying Dwarf Box. I think dwarves, if you're a dwarf box player, I think you have to specify that, because if you play open dwarves, I don't think it's like as much, because there's still a lot of reaction you have to do and a lot of screening. But box dwarves, I think, does qualify as probably the most mouth breathing like style of play. Norska for sure too, because it's just like march them down, like pendulum and Seafang them, and just that's it, right? Yeah. That's really funny, dude. Okay, I'm liking these opinions. This is pretty funny. Poison Wind Mortars got a nerf. Yeah, oh god, I hated Poison Wind Mortars. They're like one of the most frustrating things in the entire game to play against. Yeah, vampires. I feel like vampires. Like, I don't stress playing them anymore. Like, I don't know what it is. I honestly, I don't feel like they're weak, but Protoss Dragoons. That's really funny. Yeah, if you're talking to Artosis, I'm sure that's what he would say. What does he call him? Gateway Man or something like that, I think, on his streams. It's pretty fun. People now abuse gyros because of when I use them in the Chinese tournament. Yeah, they're pretty funny. Yeah, gyros are really strong, for sure. That's the ultimate mouth-breathing build. The one I used when I was playing in the Chinese tournament, which I don't know if it ever finished. I think I got to check in on that. I brought like a Haggard Elite box with Gotrek, Felix, and like Grombrindle, and then I just had like gyrocopters flying around, and the box was like hiding in the corner. That's probably the most mouth-breathing shit you can do. Yeah. Oh, man. That's so funny. All right, guys, let's take a look here. We have the forces of Ice Power Total War of Clan XMD. Oh, all right. Fancy stuff. It's got Goblins into the Sunset. Quad Stone Troll. Holy shit, that is a lot of Stone Trolls, man. 4 of them. And the rest of the army, Spider Riders. Now, this build is a little bit different than kind of the very meta version of this build. The more meta version is using probably less Stone Trolls and more Orc Biggins. The Biggins, of course, outtrade the Dryads and do very well against a number of other targets. But, I mean, this can certainly work, too, if there's just the overload of hard-hitting power. And Spider Rider Archers with basic Spider Riders, you know, you guys get the picture. Grom the Paunch, a Brain Bust to Caster, and looks like double Orc Shaman. What does he have? Brain Bust and Fist of Gork. I'm curious why he got 2 of them and not just 1. Maybe he's worried about 1 getting sniped. Kind of interesting, though. Yeah, we'll see. Degenerate build, yeah. Maybe I'll do a video on that. That'd be fun. I actually have a series coming up on the channel soon, a fun one, that we're going to be doing ranking lords from best to worst for every faction. I think that'll be fun. So we'll be starting with the Empire and going from there. So, all right. So now for the army here of Voidlaws, he's got Dryads backed by Spears, backed by Dryka. Ooh, this build could actually be very, very strong with the Glade Guard Starfire Shafts. He's got like 5 of them, man. Ooh, that is some stopping power. So those Starfire Shafts can really put a huge amount of hurt on the Stone Trolls. The fire damage and armor piercing, it's basically a hard counter, right? Eternal Guard backed by Wild Riders, and that is it. I really like this build by Voidlaws here. I think it's very strong. All right, good luck, have fun. Let's see if he can get back on the board. Currently, Ice Power Total War is up 1-0 in the series. If Ice Power is able to win this, of course, he will be advancing on to the Grand Finals. Yeah. I know, Liam. I'm sorry. I got to do more. The dreaded double shaman. Yeah. For Empire, the strongest lord, in my opinion, is Volkmar, followed by Franz. The other ones, it's kind of a little bit more contested. I would probably, well, I could just tell you. You guys will see the video. It'll kind of explain why, too. Great Stags got buffed. Oh, yeah, they had some sort of a weird issue where Great Stags, like, couldn't effectively charge certain types of units. It was very weird. But I really like Great Stags as units. I think they're very, very cool. Yeah, it's a solid build. It's a very, very solid build. He's got good flank defense with the double Wild Rider and double Glade Rider. And, like, the trolls are really going to get hammered by Focus Fire. I'm trying to think. I guess Grom the Paunch could get back there. The one thing that is really scary here for the forces of the Wood Elves is Grom the Paunch. Grom the Paunch hard counters Dryka super hard. He can run her over all day. And also, he's quite good against the Archers and Dryads and different things like that. So, the Tactical Reserve Shaman, yes. Perhaps he leaves one in the corner and, you know, brings it in later. We will see. Spider Riders coming up on the flank. You know, Spider Rider Archers are pretty cool for dual purpose because, yeah, they can poke and stroke, but they can also push in and distract things, and they have pretty decent defensive stats with 26 melee defense, I believe, or no, it's only 22 actually, and they also do poison, so I guess the poison is what really makes them a little bit more durable. But yeah, Spider Riders I always feel like are so incredibly annoying to get rid of. A little bit of a tree line here that will provide some cover, but you know, I don't think it's going to matter too much. These Starfire Shafts are going to be going ham-bone, man, and that is going to be very, very nasty indeed. So the Dryads are moving forward, led by Dryka. The Starfire Shafts are now unleashing into what appears to be the Stone Trolls immediately. So I think he's putting... Yeah, he should probably put 2 on 1 and 2 on 1 and then... Or 2 on 1 and 3 on the other in terms of Archers, just to get the kills really quick. Ooh, that was pretty nice. Very, very good summon there by Voidlaws. He's able to actually block up the charge. But, oh man, it looks like the Trolls still get through, which is very unfortunate. Now right here, Grom the Paunch able to come in, helping to kind of bunker bust these Dryads. And we do have some Spider Riders preparing to push into the Glade Guard Starfire Shafts. While in the backfield, we have these Spider Riders engaging against the Glade Guard here. So it looks like Ice Power is going to be sacrificing the Spider Riders. A little bit of a gambit here to throw them in and shut down these Archers, while the Stone Trolls do smash through that front line pretty heavily. I mean, Dryads are really getting massacred super, super hard. And Spider Riders are collapsing from every which angle, though they are taking some heavy casualties in the process. Brain Bust in the backfield, going to be landing onto the Starfire Shafts. Didn't do too much damage, but it also looks like there's going to be some Witchcraft, maybe a Pendulum going down there. Nice Pendulum there by Voidlaws, really hammering the AP Loonies. But now the Wa is going on, and the fact that there's Elven Archers running already is a little bit of a problem. I think the Spears are needed to kind of be behind them to push forward, because now these Archers are running, but the Focus Fire on this side of the battlefield is very strong. Stone Troll's broken here, Stone Troll's broken here. The triple Starfire Shaft getting a beautiful concave. So the Greenskins kind of were able to win this flank, but on that same note, the Wood Elves were able to win this flank with their defensive play from the Wild Riders. And this is a huge problem here. Having a single Wild Rider basically chasing down and shattering 10 Stone Trolls and probably taking another 11 Stone Trolls off the board, that is pretty devastating to say the least. Anyways, here, there still are some Stone Trolls. These Archers are looking pretty close to breaking. And yeah, a lot of the Archers are also in mass exodus, but do the Greenskins have the tools to chase them off the battlefield? If not, you know, they're just going to come back and start shooting from the distance and really will be causing quite a few problems. Now, looks like the Wild Riders were going to be the next target for Grom and his little posse right here. Bounce of power is pretty even at this point. A lot of these Elf Archers will come back, and they the 2-1s with First Strike. Anyone who's a Magic player will get that reference, but those guys do some work. Wild Riders here, still chasing down those Stone Trolls. It looks like there are some Spider Riders trying to peel them off. Maybe those Stone Trolls will come back. There's only 4 of them. We have had some Stone Trolls come back here as well. And the double Orc Shamans are still going, and they're actually beating down Dryka. Look at this. Dryka's surrounded by Goblins, as well as the Spider Riders, and the 2 haggard Orc Shamans with their big meat cleavers here are giving the business to Dryka. That's a pretty unfortunate little trade here. I feel like many aspects of the battle are going quite well for the Wood Elves in terms of the Starfire Shafts. But, you know, losing Dryka there probably will just honestly be a game loss. Spider Riders coming into the backfield, jumping in the Archers once again. It looks like some Spider Riders back here were able to clean up the Glade Riders with Kites and then an eventual Alpha Strike. And now there's more Archers back here. So I think with Dryka being a little bit surrounded there, and Grom the Paunch still being quite healthy, and there also still being some Stone Trolls on the battlefield, I would kind of wager at this point that the forces of the Greenskins are a little bit ahead. Not by a monumental amount, but I think they're certainly in a winning position. And if they keep, you know, making the correct plays, they'll probably win this game. So Dryka here still being circle beaten by the Orc Shamans, but she's also giving it back a little bit. Dryka, of course, does get stronger as she gets damaged. And now the Stone Trolls, Danny DeVito, all up in this hoe, man. Coming in with them big clubs, looking to finish off Dryka, who's now sitting at 31 leadership. And yeah, she's being circle beaten once again. That's the thing. Orc Shamans, you know, hit kind of hard. They have 38 melee attack and, you know, close to 400 weapon strength. They're actually only 310. But yeah, it's a respectable amount for sure. So Elven Archers are coming back. Here they come. The Archer here has 26 models, 32, and then in the backfield we do have 47, so still a fair amount of stopping power. But the Trolls and Unbreakable Goblins are really just kind of pile driving into this back line. Ice Power does also have some Spider Riders. Clearly his micro is very on point right now. He realized that they're back. He's sending them across town to do some work, and the wah does resound in the valley once again, giving the ITP to these units. Not that there's any Terra nearby, but yeah, nonetheless, Grom also giving leadership buffs. And yeah, this is what I was talking about. Grom it's kind of like rock, paper, scissors. If they go Dryka and you go Grom wins, right? And you tend to do very well in that matchup. But if they go like Orion, or excuse me, if they go Orion and then you go Grom, it's a little bit scary because he can chase Grom down and actually do some work. But yeah, Dryka's down for the count. I don't see anything left here aside from a couple Wild Riders that can stop Grom the Punch. You know, even Grom versus all the shit right here. If he were able to cycle charge with a little bit of support, he'd probably be in a very strong position. On top of that, we have 2 Orc Shamans as well. Spider Riders, Creepers coming back in. They're going to be creeping all up on these Glade Guards, sliding into their DMs as they go. Wild Riders will be able to give some disruption, but again, they're a very durable, sticky unit. Should be able to shut them down by time for Grom the Paunch, who's still taking Dryka to the candy shop as she's run over once again. The Big Chungus celebrates as Dryka joins. Oh, this is like, look at that. Dryka and her Dryad are like holding hands on the ground here as they both have fallen. Like, help me, I'm too weak. So Grom's going to be rolling over, but it looks like Ice Power Total War will be advancing to the Grand Finals once again in ECL Season 6 Qualifier number 4. He is no stranger to the Grand Finals. He was there facing Falcon, and he is back for vengeance. Let's see how this goes. GG, well played. So now we're going to go ahead and update the scorecard here. Ice Power Total War advancing, and we can go and update the brackets as well. And GG, well played. GG, well played. Awesome games for sure. Ice Power. Yeah, he said GG, but I think his opponent left and didn't say GG, unfortunately. It happens, though. It happens. All right, so let's go to the brackets here. Ice Power Total War advances to the Grand Finals to face the winner of Showtime and Mixa on the other side. And now, let's go ahead and tag those bad boys and get them here in the chat. Thanks again for joining, guys. It's been a fun stream so far. Mixa and Showtime. You're up. Is 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. So those bad boys should be here in a moment. GG, well played. All right. And now, yep, Showtime is in here. Showtime will be on the left-hand side here, so we'll update these score plates. Showtime's had some really good games recently, like really good stuff. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. All right. See you in finals, Ice. Now for the next map, I think Southern Chaos Waste, I think, is the one that isn't terrible, right? I can't remember. I always get those two confused. Yeah, I need to get that cheat sheet back, the one that has all the good maps on it. Sword of Torgald is a really good map as well. All right, cool. These bad boys are both ready to go. And let's see Tower of Hoeth. Very good. Hey, Oiva, thank you for the donation. Appreciate that. All right. Very good. Picks. Good luck, have fun. Makes us saying 2v1. So there was 3 people in the lobby, and he was like, no, don't 2v1 me, bro. All right. Let's go ahead and see how this match unfolds. These guys are both extremely talented players. Quite excited to see what factions they play. Altdorf outskirts. You know, I'm trying to do some other stuff here. Map is 1 second here. Valley of Thieves. Is Valley of Thieves a good one? No, it's not. No. Hold on, just picking the map here. And we'll be all set. The Carrick maps are always very good too. We could do one of those. Or Galbaraz. We'll do Galbaraz. Yeah. Map set. Galbaraz. Good luck, have fun. Alright. So picks and bans are coming. Go for some Altar of Ultimate Darkness. A very good map. Isn't that the one that's like has that weird hill in the middle? Yeah. Hey, well played. Nerf Dark Elf nerfs are coming now, Ice, because you won with them, so they must be punished. And the nerfs are upon us. Yes, Galbaraz. Galbaraz is a good old faithful map. Has a little bit of kind of terrain, but it's not like abuse. It's just like a little low ground that people can use. Yeah, I think it's a good map. So we have a donation coming in from Tewo. Sorry, I missed that one. No, I see it. I see it, Tewo. I'm sorry. He says, hey, Turin, sorry to hear about the moving trauma. Glad you're back streaming. Now it really brightens up my week in these dark times. I got you, man. And we're here to stay. We're anchored. We're going. I got my rig set up. Hopefully there's not too much echo in here. But Tewo, thank you so much for the donation. And my apologies for mangling your name there. Appreciate that big 20, man. These dark weeks, the dark times shall pass. I'm so excited to get into some tabletop games again. Start playing some 40k, man. Oh, man, I missed it. I have missed it. They're going to nerf Rakarth, yeah. Aristodemos, Lost Idols is a good map. Yeah, let's just put them on like Amber Bow or like Fall of Man. How do you join? Wolfgang, if you want to play in my tournaments, you just have to join my Discord. And when I make an announcement, you sign up. That's it. There's no conditions, really. Just be a good sport and, you know, that's it. That's how we roll. Oh my god, we got Beastmen! Yes! We got Greenskins versus Beastmen. Oh, and Migsa with like the instant ready up. Both players had their armies like good to go in these matchups. That's so exciting. Oh, dude. Alright, we got Beastmen, baby! Let's hear those Minecraft cow noises. It's time! I gotta get that on the soundboard. My soundboard is still packed. I gotta... Oh my god, unpacking has been pretty brutal. Yeah. We're going. So do we finish the Legendary Lords group in the next week? Yeah, we do. I'm going to be streaming them all through the week. And I'll be doing 2 per stream, too. So I think there's 6 left or something. Yeah, I think there's... No, 5 left. There's only 5 groups left. Yeah. Make them play a Siege map? Yeah. Yeah, that's really funny. I am super excited for this matchup. All right, we look good. Just checking all the settings. So for the forces here of Showtime of Clan ODM, so we have ODM versus, I don't know if Migsa's in a clan. I don't think so. I think Migsa, yeah, I don't know if Migsa's ever been in a clan. Yes, release the, if you guys are channel members, of course, we do have a Morker emoji, which with him sipping coffee. It's literally the This Is Fine meme that Lady Turn drew, so make sure to shout that bad boy out. So we got Goblin, Wolf Rider, and Spider Riders, you know, a ton of them. They're very, very good against Centaurs and Minotaurs and Spawn, so a strong choice. We have a giant River Troll Hag and a whole battle line of Savage Orc Biggins backed up by Orc Biggins. Yeah, I mean, it's cookie cutter. I mean, Savage Orc Biggins pretty much kill Beastmen, Infantry, and Monsters, and Orc Biggins do the same thing. We have the giant River Troll Hag and Grom the Paunch. Beef is back in the menu. Certainly is. I'm going to be cooking some steaks tonight. I'm quite excited. I got some nice little seasoning, and we're good to party. Now for the forces here of the Beast people, the Beastmen. We do indeed have the Goreherds with shields, secondary lines more Goreherds. Goreherds trade okay with Savage Orcs. Certainly appreciate some support from the Spawn. But yeah, it's basically Spawn backed up by Chaos Spawn and more Chaos Spawn and more the Shadowgate for more Chaos Spawn and more summons. So we got Manticores. So yeah, very much like a Beastmen Summoner build. We got Centaurs with Warhounds on the flanks. Basic Centaurs do pretty well against Greenskin Skirmishers. They defeat them in combat and they're also shielded. So I think that's quite good. And yeah, I mean, pretty standard, right? Spawn with Chaff in front. It does the trick. It does the trick. I'm sure Beastmen will, you know, when they inevitably get their DLC, they'll probably get like a huge rework, yeah. They will get it, man. They're doing it. The biggest Paunch? Well, Grom the Paunch is a very, very good lord. Arguably, probably one of the best on the Greenskins. You know, for a while I thought Skarsnik was with the Rampage, but Grom the Paunch is just so all over the place and durable and regenerates and is fast and has a good charge bonus. He brings so much to the table. I think it's very, very strong. So I am a beast, man. Yeah, it's funny. So Chaos Spawn actually getting targeted with an Overcasted Spirit Leech right out of the gates here from Showtime. trying to wear down those big targets. Obviously, because the Savage Orcs will be able to cut through most of this army, so might as well wear down one of the units that can punch through Savage Orcs. Get those guys slowing down a little bit. Spider Riders are kiting, able to return some fire into the chasing Warhounds and Centaurs, who do avoid a volley there on the pursuit. Same thing on the other side. Basically, Migsa is just using these guys as a distraction, holding the Spider Riders' attention while the rest of the army does advance. Otherwise, the Spider Riders could sit and shoot at spawn. So you just want to kind of, feign charges, pull back and forth, and live long and prosper. Now, oh no, Migsa! Migsa with the tactical reserves! Don't do this to us! The classic Turin move, the tactical reserve. Oiva, thank you for becoming a member. Welcome to the Dukes of Haggard, my friend. I really appreciate that. And may you enjoy the glorious emojis, which were hand-drawn by Lady Turin. And now we have some pullback here. I mean more of a rework in terms of multiplayer Hussar. Savage Orcs moving in. This is going to be a very strong intercept. Savage Orc Biggins may have lost his micro there because the Centaurs get charged by Savage Orc Biggins, which is a disaster, right? Spider Riders get away, and he does remember the Bray Shaman. So the Bray Shaman is back in business, and now we have our first frontline engagement as Grom the Punch is able to take out some Warhounds, and Savage Orcs are rushing in. Honestly, initially it seems like the Greenskins are getting a lot better engagements, having punished the Centaurs here, having pulled the Hounds into some bad fights, and the Savage Orcs are obviously doing quite well in many of their frontline engagements. So yeah, I would say that Greenskins, as far as the early game goes, are in a little bit of a dominant position, but again, it's far too early to make any calls. There's much game to be had here. The Feral Manticore going down, and Morker hasn't even blown his load yet. There's going to be some Manticore summons getting dropped here in the backfield, or actually back here, as well as Chaos Spawn summons. And you can see the Spawns and Gores are doing a good job versus the much more expensive infantry here in the Savage Orc Biggins, but there's a lot of focus fire coming in. Little Spider Riders kind of poking and shooting their poison arrows. That poison quite effective as it does kind of tee off into the Chaos Spawn and the Gore herds. On this side of the battlefield, Savage Orcs, and this is like why they're so good, right? You have a Savage Orc Biggin facing off against a Gore and a Spawn, and like they're almost winning that 2v1. If their leadership holds, these Savage Orc Biggins could potentially come close to winning that fight. Manticore Summon being used to go after Grom the Paunch, perhaps a little bit of a mistake. Maybe use it to go after the Hag instead, because Grom can probably juke this thing and regenerate and won't be too affected by that Manticore Summon. But in the front line, the 8-peak Loonies and Savage Orcs really cutting through this Beastman army. The Spawn really just getting hammered down. And a beautiful firing position here for the Greenskins. He is able to get Goblin Wolf Rider Archers and all these different units. And man, they're just sitting here and pounding into these. And there's nothing in the Beastman army that's disrupting them, right? There's no Centaurs overloading. There's nothing, right? The Centaurs kind of all got punished in some of those early fights. And I think it's really showing, while the other Greenskin Archer units are kind of firing with relative impunity here. 8-peak Loonies still going into the Ungor Herds. Ungor Herds battling the Arwar Goblins. These little... they're so cool. I love the little checker pattern on their hats here. But the second Manticore is out. Bounce of Power is a little bit actually Beastmen favored, but don't be deceived. There's 2 units of Spawn Summons on the battlefield as well as a Manticore. As soon as those bad boys disappear, as long as the Greenskins don't take too much damage in that process. Oh, this is actually a nice pick here. You know what? If the Centaurs actually turn on the Giant River Troll Hag, the Manticore comes here and Morker starts pimp clawing that Giant River Troll Hag, that would actually be a free caster most likely. And that would, yeah, that'd be very strong. 2 Spawn units, this is a little bit unfortunate too. 2 Spawn units are bunched up on 1 Biggin, and only like a quarter of the models are actually attacking here. So that's also not the best situation. But I mean, yeah, this isn't going badly for the Beastmen. They've kind of turned the game around, as right now you can see the Giant River Troll Hag really getting worked on. But the Centaurs appear to go after the Spider Riders. And now this game is kind of bouncing out. The summons appear to have done a good job, but more importantly, that backfield pick on the caster there. And the Ungor Raiders in the backfield have been able to put some hurt on these units. And now the Beast people are pulling ahead, but remember, we'll see, I think, 1, 2, and I think this is a summon also. Yeah, 2 Spawn are about to disappear, as well as the Manticore, and you'll see in just a second. So you guys watch the bounce power. Should creep back towards the middle, but the Greenskins are kind of out of infantry. This has been a pretty solid game. We do have 61. Surprised that wasn't 69, but we do have 61 Biggins right here, as well as some Savage Orc Biggins kind of returning. I hate those notifications. I wish you could turn those off. It's so annoying when it like blocks like something important. Oh god, it's the most irritating thing ever. But yeah, bounces back to the middle now. It's like dead even once again, right? So you can see that that was a false inflation, and yeah, I don't know if they did enough to really kind of pay for themselves here. Also, Grom the Paunch, as far as what he brings to the table in these kind of late game scenarios. So if you're looking at like a chess game, right? Grom the Paunch is like having like a rook or a queen on the board, whereas like Morker in the late game he's good, like he's durable, but Grom is going to go around. He's like the rook, just going balls deep down those aisles, taking pieces across the board. Grom can do that, whereas Morker is like still a footlord, and once he's kind of used his spawn, he's not going to be as much of a player, right? So Morker, the Shadow Cave, now surrounded. It looks like the Greenskins have really clinched this game, because there's no way that Morker can do as much as Grom, and The greenskin skirmishers have also done an exceptional job of kind of chasing things down. What do we have here? We have some Gore still fighting, but yeah, Morkar's just going to get just annihilated by these elite greenskin infantry, right? Savage Orc Bigguns hit really, really hard against light armor, and that is going to be it. I don't think the Beast people don't have any chance here, so let us see your sad cow noises here in chat for the Beastmen. Pour out a drink for Morkar. That is it. GG, well played. Awesome showcase by Showtime. Awesome, awesome indeed. Notifications all over the WA button? Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the value. Yeah, I mean, overall, it was a great army. I mean, Savage Orc Bigguns traded super efficiently. Bigguns are good here. Greenskin Skirmishers. Like, it was just all the stuff that's good against Beastmen he brought, and he made it work. You can actually use the Arachnarok Queen pretty well in this matchup, but I actually prefer to go wider. Mix's build wasn't bad. You know, he there was a couple moments in that game where I think if the Manticore summons had been a little bit more like angled at like the caster earlier and gotten some like good value picks. On top of that, I think the Centaur play needed a little bit of a kind of improvement. I think the Centaurs kind of just didn't do too much, whereas they normally should have. 3 Centaurs plus 2 Hounds should be able to really do a huge number on this amount of skirmishers, right? And yeah, we'll look at some values as well. Yeah, values. Yeah, Grom the Paunch, you know, he did fine. But yeah, it was a good game. It was a good proper scrap between these two lads. And now we'll jump into the next match and see how this goes. We will do, not Eschen, but we will do Castle Drakenhof for our next one. I think Castle Drakenhof's a good one. This one I'm thinking of. Central Chaos Waste. Can you guys remind me of which? Yeah, no, it's Southern Chaos Waste is the one we're looking for. The Southern Chaos Wastes. Is it the Southern? Yeah, Southern Chaos Waste. Yeah. That's it. Go look, have fun. Sad goat noises. Yes, release the sad goat. Yeah, you see, Horus Heresy 1982's got it covered with the Morkar. You know, Connor, I want some Indian food now. Why'd you have to go and say that? Hey, darling, you want some Indian food today? She nods her head. Lady Turin approves. The lady of the house. Yeah, no, Indian food is so good. Oh, man. What is your favorite historical period? Oh, God, man. I have a very, very poor knowledge of history. I mean, I have very topical knowledge from pop culture and stuff, but no, I couldn't even say, man. I don't know enough to answer that. I mean, I like, I have to say, when I went to, Lady Turn and I went to Greece, we were in Crete. We went to Crete, and we went to this museum. You got the little Wookiee. Wookiee says hello also. How's he doing?
Wookiee says, I'm bad as shit.
Yeah, he's a bad doggy, but we love him. So, we went to Crete, Lady Turin and I, and we went to a museum there that had like a bunch of like, you know, relics from the past and, you know, swords and some, they had like this armor set that a child had worn in ancient times. And I thought that was super cool, man. I don't know much about history, but I was like super interested in it, like looking at all the pieces from the ancient Greek cultures. I thought that was really, really cool. So yeah, I don't know. Hard to say. Sad goat noises. Oh yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. Yeah, Crete was a lot of fun. I enjoyed my time in Greece. I like the food a lot. The gyros were amazing as well. All right, picks and bans. So Mixa says, I'm going greenskins this time, and he's banning vampires and lizards, and we got Avalorn. So we have high elves facing off against greenskins. That should be fun. Fun matchup. Normally considered to be pretty greenskin favored, or at least it used to be, but I think Showtime probably knows what's up, and we'll be fine. Yeah, we went to the Minoan stuff, yes. And we went to the temple. We went to Spinalonga, which was a leper colony. Yeah, that was pretty trippy, man. Going to Spinalonga, because it used to be a fortress, right? For depending on what time period you were in, and then it actually became a leper colony, and like seeing that whole place, it was nuts. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, no. Obviously, Polish history has become a point of interest. Like I can't tell you how many times I've asked Lady Turn about the hussars and you know, and all that good stuff. Yeah. Polish history is definitely pretty cool. I think it was King Sobieski and what was the name of that battle? God, I'm blanking. I'm sorry, guys. My memory isn't what it used to be. I love Polish food. Don't get me talking about that, guys. We're going to be going hard on it. Yeah. Double birds to snipe Greenskin Lord. Yeah, it can work for sure. You can go double Arcane Phoenix and just cheese their lords. A little bit risky though. Greenskins are good counter cheesers. Like if you try and cheese their lords, they can trap you with a lot of stuff like Spider Riders and Rampages and things like that. So and Mithers, like they have a lot of counter cheesing too. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the Battle of Vienna. I think that's what it was, yeah. I remember reading about that. I think I was like Googling one day. I was like, what was the biggest cavalry charge in the history? And I think the Battle of Vienna was like up there. If not the biggest, it was one of the biggest. Yeah. Pretty cool. There's so many things I want to explore in life, man. You know, like history and different games and, you know, science fiction cultures, but there's just not enough time. Yeah. Probably when I'm an old man, I'll just like go balls deep in history and like start learning about it. Yeah, The Witcher too. That's Lady Turn's favorite, one of her favorite book series. Probably her favorite, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, Poland definitely has an awesome culture. We're gonna be there, you know, as soon as it's good to go. We're gonna be in Poland too, feasting once again. Temple Guard should be unbreakable when Aslan is the Lord. They probably need if they added that condition, they'd probably need like a cost increase or something.
You talking shit about me, Campbell?
No. We're saying that you like the Witcher books.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Balls deep in history, yeah. So we are on Southern Chaos Wastes. If you guys are looking to play on the Chaos Waste maps, there's obviously north and south. The northern one's a little bit OP because there's like this stupid hill in the middle that some factions can abuse and camp on. But Southern Chaos Waste is fairly open field and I would say a relatively decent map. So Hero Brum says, which is a shame as my the English translations of the Witcher books aren't very good. Is that a true assessment?
That is a very true assessment.
Yeah, Lady Turn agrees. She says it's not a very good assessment. Yeah, so I haven't read the books.
It is not a very good translation. It's a great assessment.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I mean, yes. Sorry, we're all over the place. All right, guys, so here we are in the battle. Let's take a look. Oh, does this bird have like red tinted wings or something? I don't remember that being the case. Oh, it's an Archmage of Fire. I thought it was Larry for a second. Okay, so we have an Archmage of Burning Head. Pretty cool. Burning Head's very, very strong against greenskins. Fireball's pretty good against their characters as well. And here we have Sisters of Avalorn. It looks like there's going to be 4 of them, backed up by Dryads. Whoa, 4 Sisters. This is a Kindle Flame build. Okay, so he's got Fireball, Kindle Flame, Quad Fire Sisters. That is a ton of stopping power. Holy shit. And then 4 Reavers in the backfield. This is a very interesting build. And 2 Lothern Seaguard, which I would 100% imagine will go on the flanks. Yep. And basically serve as not only a poke and stroke unit, but also a spear unit, right, to defend the flanks of these sisters. Pretty cool build. This is very unique here by Showtime. I don't recall if I've ever seen something quite like this against greenskins. Very, very fun stuff. And now if we take a look here at the forces of the greenskins, it's going to be Orc Biggins, Orc Boys, you know, pretty standard stuff. We got Orc Boar Boy Biggins, we got some Forest Goblin Spider Riders, and just like every single greenskin player and their dog, it's going to be a million Forest Goblin Spider Riders into the sunset. Grom the Paunch, Vindictive Glare Sniper, that's going to be very strong. And that's one thing that could lose Showtime the game if he's not careful about dodging the Night Goblin Shaman. If those Vindictive Glares land, that is going to be very, very rough. Oh, scoreboard, we got to update that. Sorry, guys. Thank you. I got it. Thank you for the update on the scoreboard. We are good to go. Appreciate that, Aristodemos. And he made a more expensive Wood Elf build. Yeah, this is really cool, though, because you get the Reaver Cav. You know, you got Lothern Seaguard kind of working the flanks. People might not expect it. You should narrate a history documentary in the same style you comment. Oh my god, on Total War, that'd be so terrible, Tewo. Yeah, you know, I'm more the type of person that should be doing like WWE commentary or like, you know, that kind of thing.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
History is like 10 times.
Oh, I know, but
more
I'm just saying.
violent than any MMA match.
No, I'm saying I don't know anything about it though. It's a knowledge thing. Yeah. Archers shooting downtown, going after the Forest Goblin Spider Riders. You can see these Goblin Wolf Rider archers taking a little bit of poke. And the Greenskin Skirmishers also returning the favor, hammering into these Dryads on the weaker side of the formation here. You can see, obviously, the casters kind of over here. And have we seen a Fireball yet? We have the... Oh, look at that! Armor of the Stars! So the Archmage is hidden, which means it can't be targeted by the Vindictive Glare. Oh, that's so metal! Now, the first Fireball is going into the Goblin Big Boss right here. And it looks like it might have friendly fired a couple of those Lothern Seaguard. And we do also have Reaver Cavalry charging into the Orc Boar Boy Biggins. And the Sisters of Avalorn, so far as value accrued, they've done some okay damage against the Orc Boar Boys, but Grom the Paunch is coming in the backfield. Now, Grom needs to be careful that he doesn't get caught in a very, very bad open field situation where all 4 sisters are hitting him while he's stationary. That would be an absolute disaster. Now, on the upside things, nice little Burning Head going down there. You know, not too great, actually. It looks like it didn't hit too much, but yeah, this is what we're talking about. Grom the Paunch is stationary. He does have his Lucky Banner, but there's a Kindle Flame active, which gives him 22% additional weakness. And now he's getting fireballed. Grom the Paunch really, really getting hammered. But this entire time, the Greenskins are probably winning many other engagements. Like over here, these Reavers get charged. Grom the Paunch is low, but he survived, right? That's the important thing. And now We have the dreaded pump wagons. Oh no, orc boar chariots. I got so excited. I was like, oh, pump wagon. But no, it's an orc boar chariot with some spider riders in the backfield. And the sisters are heavily compromised to an extent. They're having to run now. Kind of a desperate snipe here on Grom the Paunch, but it looks like Grom probably will get away. And I would say overall the Greenskins, the sisters haven't really done it yet. I mean, yeah, they got Grom, but he's nowhere. He's not close to his healing cap. You can see it's at full health basically. So he's going to be able to, with careful micro, heal those bad boys up, or heal that bad boy up, I should say. So it looks like another Vindictive Glare going down from the Goblin. Fireball also being casted by the Archmage, going to be hitting Grom in the face. Might actually break him. Let's see. And it goes, it hits Grom. And, whoa, damn, negative 57. Grom the Paunch got smashed in the face by that Fireball. But the sisters are, do they have any way to kind of stabilize? Okay, nice little fanning out here. Pulling the Lothern Seaguard back, intercepting with Dryads. These sisters are offline, and they're an expensive unit. And you can really see the Greenskins are, even without Grom the Paunch, like he's still occupied the archers for long enough that the rest of the army was able to just go absolutely ham. You know, I've never been to Italy. I'd love to, because my ancestry is mostly Italian and Irish, so I'd love to go there. My last name is super Italian. Anyways, here we do have the Illyrian Reaver Cavalry pulling around to try and intercept the Mangy Marauders, maybe to buy some time for these Dryads. But yeah, it seems like a pretty Greenskin favored game, right? And I think this might be the clincher here. We can see the Spider Riders and a bunch of cheap cavalry, and of course Great Eagles have pretty poor mass, and a Goblin Big Boss. Although there's a little bit of an opening to escape here with some Reavers kind of poking in, but this should maybe be a death sentence for this Archmage of Fire. And I don't know. Yeah, nice Burning Head attempt, so that might actually be able to roast some of them. The Burning Head would have been better if it had stayed put, but it does hit the Orc War boys, cook some of their gooses, and looking around, Grom the Paunch, I think might be back, or yeah, he's back. He's just kind of sitting on the back of the map healing right now. Reaver Cavalry cleaning up the flanks. Sisters are in melee combat with a chariot, certainly not where they want to be going. The Distraction Paunch certainly did do some good work. Yeah, I like that. I like that reference. He's the Distraction Paunch. The Distraction Pontifex, or Carnapunch. Yeah, which one of those will work for any of you guys who know the Distraction Carnifexing. But anyways, Archmage is back. Another Fireball going in. The Fireball play has been very, very good by Showtime, but Migsa's showing that despite being down a game, he is not out, and he's trying to get on the scoreboard. And of course, if Migsa wins this, they'll be going to Game 3, a rubber match here. And I'm all for more games. Ooh, Vindictive Glare tickling the pickle of that Archmage. I really love the build here by Showtime, though. I thought it was very fun and very unique. Granted, it didn't function super well, but I liked the theory of it. The Armor of the Stars, too. Stock unspottable against, like, Vindictive Glare sniping. I think that Super Italian is a weird last name. That's pretty funny. And, yeah, there's just no chance at this point. That's going to be army losses for Showtime. And the Greenskins coming in once again with the steel... I don't know. What would Greenskins use as, like, a chair? I don't know. Like, probably just a club. A steel club. Yeah. The Distraction Pontifex is Volkmars, yeah. That's true. Hold on. There's going to be a little sound here, guys. Oh, there you go. So yeah, the sisters kind of got distracted by Grom for quite some time, because the rest of the Greenskin army had favored engagements across the board, right? With the Dryads versus Biggins and cavalry support and chariots, but the sisters, 1100, 1200, that's pretty damn good. 600, 600. I mean, not bad at all. Not bad at all, but in the end, Migsa and the boys were able to do it. Grom the Paunch only 395, but the rest of his army carried for sure. Look at this Orc Boar Chariot, the most glorious chariot of all time. 1235. Turin is actually my middle name, yeah. It's my actual middle name. All right. I know we get asked that like every stream. Some of you guys are probably tired of hearing that. I'm sorry. 1-1, baby. Let's go. The Steel Squig. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like that. Steel Squig. Very good. And now we can do map set. So here's what Showtime is saying. He's saying, I totally expected another thing from you. Where were your Black Orcs? Which is true. Black Orcs are very common in that matchup. So had that been a Black Orc build from Migsa, it would have been an easy win for the Elves there. But, you know, there was no Black Orcs. A little bit of a gamble. So, yeah, we're good. We're good. Sigvald is Foot Grom. Yeah, basically. Yeah, that's fair play. All right, guys. The Howfield was clearly influenced by Xiphos. Yeah, it would have been good against Black Orcs, for sure. It's Prague now. His new map. Cool. Sometimes the players can't see the maps for some reason when I switch them. Wow, Greenskins won. What a surprise. Yeah, they're a pretty strong faction. Greenskins are very strong. They have some matchups. Greenskins, I don't know. I always feel like Greenskins don't like facing undead. Although I honestly feel like Greenskins are favored against Vampire Coast nowadays. But Greenskins against Counts, I feel like Counts might be slightly favored there. Maybe. With good Vampire Count players, like specialists. Greenskins against Tomb Kings is an interesting one. I don't really know. I always felt that one was Tomb Kings favored back in the day, but you know, since the new Greenskin DLC, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah. Prague of Bone, you guys want that? Yeah, the scrap chair, that's more like it. Yeah, Anthony Boylan, I think, nailed it. Greenskins, if they were to use like a steel chair variant, it would be like a chair made of scrap. Yeah. You know, because, yeah, when I used to play against High Elves with Greenskins, I used to bring Black Orcs and the Arachnaut Queen to fight their monsters and Dragon Princes, so, like, that build would have just dunked on a build like that, right? Yeah. So, Mixa is picking Bretonia, banning... Oh, no, he's doing his 3. So, he's picking Bretonia, Dark Elves, and Lizardmen, and he's banning Dwarves. So, Showtime will now pick one, ban one, and then Mixa will pick from his remaining 2 factions, which is cool. I think it's a really good Game 3 pick and ban system. I think it's really solid. Ice Power, you'll have to show them the way of the Druki in the grand finals. It is Mixa, yeah, he's here. He's doing some work. He's been having a great run today. Let me see who he played earlier, actually. Also, for anyone joining, the current state of this stream, if we look at the 4 players, we have Ice Power Total War, who did defeat Void Laws on the top side of the bracket, and he'll be facing the winner of Showtime and Mixa right here in a best of 5. So finals is best of 5. And the winner of this will be then going to the Grand Finals, which is a major tournament. It's like Ever-Chosen level. And that will be joining these folks. So we have Falcon, we have Alfredinho, we have Imperator. Those are the bad boys waiting in the top 8 there. So, should be fun. Bretonia mirror match. Do not put that evil on me. Bretonia mirror match with double Fey Enchantress. That's just like the most dreaded, horrible thing ever. Yeah, so don't wish that evil on me, man. Don't do it. So we got Showtime going Wood Elves and banning Bretonia. Okay. So it's Wood Elves versus either Dark Elves or Lizardmen, which honestly makes us probably going to pick Lizardmen and just play like Solar Engine defensive play. That's like very meta. Although I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. So it's Wood Elves versus someone. Yeah, Ice Power. Yeah, I guess you got to be careful, huh? You've shown your hand. You're going to have to get cunning. Maybe the dreaded Rackhearth needs to make an appearance. Yeah, although don't do that to yourself. Rackhearth is pretty bad, unfortunately, in multiplayer. Rackhearth is like a C tier lord, I would say. Like, I think he's better than Lokir, but not by a whole lot. At least Lokir can heal, but Rackhearth has some good force multiplying and sniping effects, so you know it is what it is. The only mirror matches worth watching are Vampire Counts, dude. Armis, those mirror matches are like the most miserable shit in the game. Oh my god, Vampire Count mirror matches. Because we had a single faction tournament a while back where like you can only play one faction, and the grand finals ended up being a Vampire Count mirror with like Evenstar and Reginald Puggington, and that was like probably the most unfun set of games we've ever had. It was just horrible. Oh god, it was horrible. Bretonia mirror is kind of fun because there's like some you know tactical plays with the cavalry, but it can also devolve into double Fey Enchantress blob with like Grail Guardians and like shit like that. So like it has its pros and cons. Yeah. So Mig says going Lizardman. No surprise there. Dark Elves fare really poorly against Wood Elves, so I think that's a smart pick. Yeah. Marathi's a lot better. Yeah. Marathi's a lot better. I mean, I think Malekith, if I had to rank Dark Elf Lords, it'd be Marathi, Malekith, I'm talking Legendary Lords. I'm trying to remember them all. How many are there now? So we have, yeah, it'd be Marathi and Malekith would be 1 and 2 for me. If we're just doing Legendary Lords, I'd probably put like, oh, yeah, Rackhearth and I think Crone is better than Rackhearth and Lokir because she's got some cool buffs and has a couple different options with the Manticore and the Cauldron. I mean, I don't think Crone's great, but yeah, somewhere in that kind of ballpark there. I don't know. I'd have to think about it because Dark Elves are probably my worst faction, so my knowledge of them is a little bit poor, but it's just from what I see. Yep. So Showtime's ready. Caviara, Finn's represented, go Mixa and hail Turin. Hey man, yeah. I believe Mixa is Finnish. I'm not 100% sure. When we were kind of thinking about doing the World Championship, or the World Cup, where it's like country versus country, I was trying to like put together a Finnish team, and I think Mixa and like there was like one other player I found. There wasn't too many. Yeah, I can't recall. Malice, yeah, Malice is a weird one. Yeah, Malice is a weird one. Can you rank them on a scale of hotness? That's pretty funny. Mean Blade is clearly the strongest. How dare you forget Malice? Rackhearth versus Sirtha Ek. You know, I'm thinking about adding Sirtha Ek into the Legendary Lords tournament in round 2. Just like throw in Sirtha. If the bracket is like lopsided and weird, I might just like throw in Sirtha Ek or something, yeah, something weird like that. That'd be fun. Top 5 Dark Elf Lords according to Eli. It's Malice 5 times over. Yeah, fair play. I actually really like the Dark Elf color scheme though. I've always liked like black or like dark gray armor with like purple hues. I think it looks really cool. My Empire Army in tabletop, which I'll show you guys soon. Unfortunately though, when we unpacked in the move, I broke like a lot of them got broken. Their lances and their helmets. I was like, oh god damn it, on the demogryphs. So I'm gonna have to re-glue those, but. All right, guys. So here we are. The battle is underway. This is the determining showdown to see who goes to the finals. And oh, look at this. You know, I was really expecting double solar engine, but it seems that Mixa has his own plans. Look at this. Oh, this is so cool. A red-crested skink chief on a velociraptor. Now, what is the application of him in this matchup? Okay, I guess he's a decent anti-large duelist. Is it against Orion? Is it against, like, Zotes? What is it against? Yeah, the red-crested skink chief with the Manticore summoner. Okay. We got Cold One Riders, so we do also have a couple units of Chameleon Skinks. 100% the best unit on the Lizardman roster. And over here we do have more Feral Cold Ones and Cold One Riders and Osiris and Skink cohort front line. So yeah, very, looks like a build you'd see like right at the launch of Warhammer 2 with the exception of the red-crested skink chief. It'd be like a Croc R or some other characters like that. So yeah, basically just going to be pushing in using Skinks. Probably will rotate around the flanks and just try and disrupt and get into the archers, focus down Wildwood Rangers. I like this quite a bit. So Showtime's got Dryka, Spears in the front, secondary line of Starfire Shafts backed up by Wildwood Rangers, which are a countermeasure against Saurus and things like that. And we got Wild Riders with shields in the backfield. So this should be an interesting one. This is a very unusual Lizardman build. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the application of the red-crested skink chief on the Velociraptor in this matchup. Like, I feel like he's weak to spears. He's weak to focus fire because now he's a big target. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know about his application here. Like, where are we going with that? And if you guys are enjoying the stream, as much as I hate to ask for likes, it does help me out quite a bit. Helps get more people into multiplayer by telling YouTube's algorithm what's up. So do drop a like if you're enjoying it. And now we are here. It is time. Such an awful map. I actually think this map's fine. I always felt like this map was fine. I mean, there's a little bit of a hill on one side, but it's pretty insignificant, really. It's not something. And honestly, as far as like Warhammer maps go, you kind of have to... You can't... Beggars can't be choosers, right? We don't have that many good maps to work with in multiplayer, so there's a handful of them. Unfortunately, you guys see them over and over, so... Hard-hitting Cheap Lord? I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, the red-crested skink chief on Velociraptor, he probably only costs like 900 gold, I guess. 3,200 HP, okay. Yeah, Walmart, Croc R. Yeah, I would think maybe Croc R would be more of a thing, because he's got the Hand of the Gods and, you know, is much more powerful, but, you know, I guess if you're trying to save money and, you know, he's mobile-ish. Yeah, he's got 78 speed. You know, he's got that Velociraptor speed. Cold One Spear Riders only have 66 speed, so I guess you're getting a faster Cold One because the skink is not as heavy to carry, so... Yeah, we'll see. We will see indeed. So Archers shooting in, going after these skink cohorts. Skink cohorts are more than happy to eat these shots. They have, you know, they got their shields and they're fairly expendable for sure. And now they're moving in as more archers start to fire. Hagmane tips, they should be probably switching onto the Saurus here in a moment. Just let the Eternal Guard and other infantry, you know, outfight the skinks. But the Lizardmen are really swarming from all sides. We got Cold One Riders, we got Clever Girls, and they're also teamed up with skinks here on the edge of the battlefield. A Manticore summon, really deep set. It's a little bit of a misplay in my opinion. Summoning Manticores that far back, he's also maybe forgotten about it, so it's losing a lot of duration. Here it comes, but summoning Manticores in the battle lines, typically you will be able to get a little bit more value. So here comes some sort of a pendulum. Nice little pendulum right there. It must have been overcasted. Pendulum was nerfed a couple months ago. But here we do have Cold One Riders moving in with Saurus against the Wildwood Rangers. Honestly, not a bad fight for the Wildwood Rangers right there. So Manticore Summon is finally making it. It's almost at its red duration, which is really unfortunate. Had the Manticore been summoned up in the front, it would have been able to probably get you know, a handful of extra attacks on Dryka. Wildwood Rangers really doing some beautiful work while the Glade Guard tear into the Cold One Spear Riders. And the Wildwood Rangers, yeah, buzzsawing through these skink cohorts, man. Brutal. 48 melee attack, of course, is no joke. So they're really connecting quite efficiently there. But the Lizards have kind of broken through the front line. The Eternal Guard here are terrified, being pushed back by the Manticore Terror. Saurus Warriors, you know, trading okay here with the Wildwood Rangers, despite the other variables that are at play. And here we have a big flank engagement as well. So double Wild Rider against the Feral Cold Ones, as well as the Cold One, basic Cold Ones, with Chameleon Skink support. But it looks like the Wood Elves are dominating this engagement, just with the sheer numbers that they brought here, and also the Eternal Guard Spear support on the ground. Back here, we got the Manticore still going after Dryka, but that Dryka's got some moves. She's screaming, she's running, she's enjoying life. She's living her best life. And looks like she is able to get away. Manscore did almost nothing there, which is pretty unfortunate. And the Coldman Riders, once again, are caught in a bit of a precarious situation as they're stuck in combat with the Wild Riders, which normally in an open field fight they'd probably do good against, but if they don't get the charge and, you know, they're stuck in sustained combat like that with spears and missiles and Hagman tips poking and stroking them, it's going to be a very, very bad time for him. So how's a little Skink Chief doing? You see, I feel like he's just sitting here fighting Wildwood Rangers, like really not bringing a whole lot to the table, whereas Slans can be risky too because of the focus fire from all the Wood Elf missiles, but yeah, I don't know, maybe even some sort of a Slan would have been better. Like with the Solar Engine style play, I think that's very proven for sure. But again, most Wood Elf players are so used to playing that. I think the build that Showtime brought is quite prepared for that as well. Chameleon Skinks are still active. We do have one unit here, one in here, and one up on the top with 68 models. And the Chameleon Skinks, are they going to be going for Dryka? They definitely want to shut down the Glade Guard, which are just doing a number right now. The Red Crested Skink Chief here fighting against a bunch of the Wild Riders with shields, and not the best engagement, but a really nice Flock of Doom coming in from the Lizard people as they nail the Eternal Guard as well as the Glade Guard and the Wild Riders. And finally, the Skank is getting to fight something that he's good against, although it looks like he's trying to escape instead of fighting, which he should just turn and fight. There's no way he's escaping there, and his leadership is at 42, looking a little bit fickle, and honestly just taking a bit of a cursory look here at the battlefield. I don't think there's much of a chance for the Lizards at this point. Their Lord is surrounded. There's still a ton of archers online just decimating these Saurus warriors right here, and a little Skink Chief, but the Lizards really don't have much left. They don't have any stopping power. The Lord might be able to escape here. We'll see. Some Saurus are coming. Saurus, even though they're quite beaten up, still pack a weapon strength of well, it should be close to 50, but they're of course poisoned. But they'll put some hurt here on the Wild Riders. And Dryka's moving as well. She's looking like she might want to summon some Malevolent Dryads here. That'd be a very strong play actually, right on top of the Skink Chief and the Skink Priest. That would probably trap a lot of those units in place. Wood Elves, Wild Riders still chasing down Chameleons across the board. They are, of course, silver shielded. That really helps quite a bit against those annoying little dudes. I think probably the most annoying unit in the game are the Chameleon Skinks overall. A unit that really carries the Lizardman roster overall. Really does massive work for them. So Lizards do have some Coldon Riders. They're going to be moving in, going after the Wild Riders with shields, but the Wild Riders have spears nearby, so they're going to be totally fine. On top of that, another layer is coming in, so the Wild Riders will recharge these dinos and should be able to crump them. Balance of power is getting to the point of no return here. You can see good luck, have fun being dropped by both players. And the Warrior's Crest, the Skink, letting out one last roar as he rides off into the distance. He will return to Lustria to fight another day, my friends. And there you have it. GG, well played. That is going to be a final between ODM Showtime and XMD Ice Power Total War. Fun game for sure. A very different build. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the Red Crested Skink Chief pick. Not that lost him the game or anything, but yeah, it was definitely different. So looking here, we got 789. Yeah, the archers all shot for most of the game. Not crazy value, but it was pretty spread out. And I think this is kind of the style of play that's, you just slow push them, use the Glade Guard to try and, get to those solar engines. It can do work. And a really cool build for sure. I liked it. Like in theory, right, the heavy cavalry should outtrade the Wild Riders, but many of the engagements were just more favorable for Showtime. But it was a fun one. All right, Ice Power, if you're watching, time for you to join up. Let's get in here. Very well played to Mixa. He had a great run today. Defeated some very strong opponents and almost won this series too. It was a good series. GG, well played. Showtime says, BRB, gonna punish the toilet. Hey, fair play, man. You do you. And we'll set up the lobby. And that is gonna be 2-1 for Showtime. So now we can go to the brackets and we can move Showtime to the grand finals against Ice Power. The winner, of course, will be joining the top 8 against Falcon, Alfredino, and Imperator. So let's go ahead and set this up. Ice Power Total War. Reset the scores, and we are back. All right, we need to adjust the nameplates there a little bit thick. There we go. All right, cool. So we will set up the map. We can do the Plains of the Dead. You guys want the Pillar of Bone? I know you guys want Pillar of Bone. Okay, how bad do you want Pillar of Bone? Pillar of Bone's a good map. I mean, it's a good close quarters map, and honestly, all the maps we've done today are pretty big, so it's time for the Bone Zone. The Bone Zone, baby. Who wants to go to the Bone Zone? I do. Yeah. So yeah, Krokar is quite a bit more expensive than the Skink Chief, but he has Hand of the Gods, and it's just a much better fighter, so I think Hand of the Gods is worth it. We're taking Showtime and Ice Power to the Bone Zone. They're going to the Pillar of Bone Zone, so it should be fun. Showtime about to overcast some Searing Doom on the toilet. That's pretty funny. The dreaded Pillar. I said it wasn't going to be here, but it is. It's making an appearance. Hey. Map set. Good luck, have fun. This is best of 5 format. I think Showtime might have fought Ice Power yesterday, maybe in a different tournament, which is really funny. So one sec. Let me check. I believe. So double for first games, then single. So for each first ban, it's double. Yeah, so how we're doing the best of fives is the first game for each player is a double, and then from there it becomes a single. So we're going to the bone zone, baby. Oh, no K, no gain. Flashback to the other stream. That's pretty funny. Yeah, Ice Power's letting him know. You can repeat bans in the tiebreaker. Yep, sounds good. He was pretty swift. He was pretty swift there, guys. Oh, they fought in the Warhammer Championship this morning. Oh, that's so funny. So these guys are like prepped, primed, and prepared to face one another. That's really fun. No, it's not the StarCraft 2 Showtime. A lot of people ask that. I mean, clearly Showtime here is a very good RTS player, so you know you could assume that, but I don't believe so. It's not the same guy. Yeah, because Showtime is a professional StarCraft player, right? Not this Showtime, but yeah, we'll see. All right. Last time exactly. Let's do it. Oh my god, are they're like hey, let's just play the same matchups as earlier today. That's really funny. Yeah, I'm gonna start casting some games from the World Championship too. I'll be getting on those. Bono War. Oh my god. Initiating the bone sequence. Yeah, it's here. Pillar Bone has always been one of my favorite maps. I know it has some balance issues, some very, very light ones. Some people tend to abuse it, but you know, with guys like Ice Power and Showtime, it should be fine. But sometimes if there's certain players, I'm like, all right, maybe we shouldn't do that map. There's some issues with it. All right, so they're doing their picks and bans, and we'll just hang out, prepped and primed and ready for the pillar. So yeah, the new models. We were talking about this earlier. The new models for Age of Sigmar, with the what's it called? With the Blood Knights. I actually thought they were pretty cool. And the Fellbat models are quite nice. New skeletons also look really good. I hope to see them transition to Old World. Man, I just want an update on Old World. I just want to know if it's like, yeah, what the scale size is going to be, like the basing, like all that good stuff. Yeah. So hopefully we can find out soon. Hopefully we can find out soon. So Dark Elves coming in from Ice Power. Dark Elves banning Bretonnia and Wood Elves, and we get Norska. Okay, so we got Norska versus Dark Elves. That should be a fun one. We haven't seen Norska yet today, and yeah, it's always a pleasure seeing Dark Elf play. You know, you don't see it terribly often in the finals of tournaments and whatnot. It's almost always like Greenskins, like freaking Wood Elves, like some mixture of those factions. But the White King, yeah, is pretty cool. I could pull up some pictures if you guys want to see it. Have you guys seen it? The new models? Hang on, let me see if I can find some pictures. I think it's Warhammer Community website. Yeah, I think it's here. Welcome to the Bone Zone, baby. Okay, don't play that. Okay, good. It muted the sound. I was like, please don't play on my stream. Games Workshop would just like karate chop me. Okay, those are the Blood Knights. We get the skeleton pictures? Yeah, let's do this. Fellbats are pretty cool too. Just trying to call them like Soulblight Gravelords. Just call them what they are, man. They're the vampire counts. Come on. All right, so let's see if we can get a picture up here. Blood Knights. So these are the new vampire models from G-Dubs for the Blood Knights, which I thought were really cool. Yeah, check those bad boys out. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome for sure. So those are the new Blood Knights. I would love to paint those. It doesn't look too bad also. Like it looks like, although, yeah, the hard part about painting those models is they have a lot of edge highlighting. You have to be really good at edge highlighting. You'll notice the armor is probably like a corn red with like a heavy wash on it, like some sort of a Nuln Oil wash on the horse. And then it looks like a Evil Sun Scarlet or some sort of a red to edge highlight, like all those like sharp edges. That's a ton of detail work. That's kind of why I like to paint Nurgles, because you don't have to edge highlight as much. Those are pretty cool too. Yeah, I really like those models. I think they're awesome. Like I can see them just like, these look like Warhammer Fantasy to me. I feel like you could just throw those into the Old World when it comes out. So they have those, and then there was the Fellbats. The Fellbats were cool. I thought they were really neat models. The zombies are kind of weird, but the skeletons look really good too. Check these bad boys out. Yeah, these are the Felbats here. Like with the existing models that they have on GW's website, you can pretty much still make like an old school vampire count army. Yeah. Yeah, the armor looks tricky for sure. You could always do the really lazy approach and just dry brush it like super heavily. So it looks like Norsk is ready. Yeah, they're doing it. I'm 1 gold off. Oh yeah, they're trying to get that perfect spend. Yeah, so these are the Bat Boys. They actually look like they have pretty big bases. I guess they're going to come in like smaller groups. I'm not sure. I always imagine like Felbats being like a swarm, not like these big kind of Vargulf looking creatures, but yeah, pretty cool stuff. Every time they release an army that has any like hint of the old world in it, I'm like tempted to get it, you know? Because the rest of the guys would be easy to paint. Like the skeletons and vampire lords don't look too hard. No, I have an Age of Sigmar army. It's my Empire army from Warhammer Fantasy, so I just use it as Cities of Sigmar, and I just paint it. I paint it like the Knights of More. All their heads are like knocked off though. Ah, God. Poor guys. Yeah, my Zemis are pretty cool. They got like a. Sorry, I'm standing far away right now. I like them. On the demis, I use Rakarth flesh for their skin tone, so they're like pallid. They're like pale riders, basically. That was kind of the whole theme I was going for, the pale rider. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, Null Oil makes everything look good. Although honestly, my favorite wash that they do is Agrax Earthshade. That's my favorite. Like when I was a new painter in Warhammer, I just like was doing my Death Guard, and as soon as I put Agrax Earthshade on things, it just looked good. It was nuts. It was nuts. Make sure they don't have any rules questions. 1 sec. All right. I think they're both trying to get 0 spends. All right, so Ice Power is ready. Showtime is ready. This is the grand finals of the ECL Season 6, qualifier number 4. Thanks again for joining, guys. It's been a pleasure hanging with you all. And here we are in the grand finals to have some fun and live our best life. Eventually, now that we're kind of more stationed and we're kind of set with our living situation, we're going to do more streams, and with like I'll eventually do some tabletop stuff too. Yeah, my webcam isn't set up right now, and honestly, the room behind me is like a disaster filled with boxes. So, yeah, soon though. Soon I'll get you guys a picture. I know I've been saying that for months, but I've only painted like 4 Demogryph Knights, 10 State Troopers, a Death Wizard. Yeah, so there's a lot that needs to be done. Seraphon are covered in Agrax, yeah. All right, just checking, everything looks good. So, Ice Power Total War clearly really likes Marathi Double Manticore. And, you know, Norska has a fair amount of lightly armored targets, right? So the Manticores, in theory, can be quite solid monsters. Granted, if Manticores do get caught by the dreaded Condom Wolves, they can be torn to shreds. So it just comes down to being careful. Frontline is Bleak Swords and Dread Spears, backed up by Harvesters, Dark Riders into the Sunset. And now, Double Canade Assassin, very, very strong. Canade Assassins are extremely annoying and also very good against light armor. Web of Shadows, also good against infantry hordes. And, yeah, great build, Marathi Soul Stealer. I'm surprised no repeater crossbow cavalry. Yeah, like there's no Scourge Runners, there's no repeater crossbow cav. It's a very, very unique build. Yeah, very, very unique. Now for the battle line here, it's going to be Norskin Marauders for showtime, backed up by Berserkers. Berserkers will pretty much massacre any Dark Elf infantry here. I do like the Javelins, gives them a little bit of poke against the Feral Manticores. Double Condom Wolf, more Marauder Horsemen, and it's going to be Horserick the Wanderer, I think, or Footrick. No, it's Horserick, yeah, Horserick the Wanderer. Yeah, you know what? Him lacking armor piercing won't matter that much here because he has 2 great targets in the Manticores, and Marathi also only has like 45 armor, I think, or 40. So Horserick is actually pretty decent here, which I think is nice. Shaman Sorcerer Metal, looking to be Plague of Rusting things, I guess. Against Dark Elves, maybe he's expecting like Black Guard or some elite troops, but yeah, pretty cool, man. Pretty cool indeed. So let us know, what are your predictions as far as what you've seen here in the army selection and their previous performances? Are you rooting for Ice Power Total War of Clan XMD, or are you rooting for ODM Showtime? Let us know in chat. Quite curious to see your allegiances. Yeah, painting tutorials. Yeah, I'll do that someday. I like painting. It's Horserick. Horserick the Wanderer. Yeah, he's riding that horse, man. It's some serious stuff. Pretty interesting to see like a Dark Elf build without repeater crossbow cavalry. It feels very strange. Granted, it could catch his opponent off guard, right? Like there could be, you know, Showtime could be very prepared for it, expecting that, and then there's none of it, right? Just the Canade Assassins with Slaanesha's Harvesters and, yeah, all Dark Riders. I'm trying to, like, I guess all the money went into the Assassins and Manticores, huh? A lot of Dark Elf fans. A lot of Dark Elf fans in chat. Yeah, Dark Elves aren't terribly common. I certainly would agree. I see some folks in chat assessing that the Norskin build probably seems a little bit safer. I would agree with that. But again, Ice Power has some crazy good gooning potential, so you got to take that into account as well. Also, Ice Power has a lot of Dark Riders, which can chase down the Marauder Horsemen at some point, and also chase Skin Wolves off the battlefield with proper terror routes and engagement. So right now, the Candid Assassin shooting into the Marauder Horsemen, getting some good shots. Gabriel Glenn, thanks for becoming a new member. Welcome to the Dukes of Haggard. And really appreciate that, man. May you enjoy your glorious emojis. Also, a big factor for the Norskins is avoiding big Soul Stealers, right? You can see how rock hard Marathi gets with those Soul Stealers and how that can just carry games, so that's something else to consider. A little bit of a rough engagement here for the Dark Elves in the front. Granted, they don't have much of a choice. The Berserkers with 69 models, all right. Those dudes know how to live. Cutting through the Bleak Swords right here. So the Bleak Swords just getting absolutely massacred, and the Dark Riders being forced back by the Marauder Hunters. So yeah, it's a pretty good start for Norska, but this is going to be a big point right here. Clearly, Ice Power wants to force a big blob fight. That's pretty much what every Dark Elf player does. You force the blob fight, you Soul Stealer, you live long, you prosper. So these Marauders are broken. These Condom Wolves might actually get smashed as well, and the Norskan Ice Wolves are in a little bit of trouble as the Candid Assassins actually move through the battle lines and decide to maybe go after a Horse Wreck here. It's hard to say. But if he can actually chase those Condom Wolves off the battlefield, that'd be very strong. But honestly, I would say that Norska did a relatively good job of minimizing the impact there. They only really took some damage on the Wolves, and the Condom Wolves are back already and can re-engage. Now there's no Soul Stealer, right? So if the Norskins want to follow up with the Beast of Tashnar plus the Condom Wolves, but the Terror Route very, very strong. So Ice Power really actually getting the edge there by being able to get that Terror Route. Had those Condom Wolves stayed and fought, and more Norskins had time to get there, maybe it's a different situation. But the Norskan army is much more static, right? So here we have Horse Rick. Horse Rick is battling the Canid Assassins and doing okay for himself. Granted, it looks like the Assassins have also gotten some damage back, but Ice Power could potentially lose Canid Assassins in this situation. A little bit hard to say, but yeah, in the end, Ice Power is able to overwhelm and does get the advantage here, right? So the Marauder Horsemen, oh, look at that, glittering robes. Though it's very fancy and cheeky, I don't think that was a good play because they're just a unit that's going to break and route, and hey, the dogs are back. That's exciting.
Oh, the dogs.
The dogs are back. The Unholy Terrors. So another Soul Stealer going down right here. Soul Stealer is going to be hitting the Wolves as well as the Norskan Ice Wolves here in the back. And the bounce power is definitely a little bit Druki favored. That big engagement there on the far side where the Norskan Wolves and the Hounds all got broken off the first time, there seemed to be like a window of opportunity where maybe the Norskins could have collapsed with even more and then captured the victory off the Manticores, but now it seems like the Manticores, the Skin Wolves are broken off, probably chased off the edge of the map here, and the Manticores and Marathi, plus the Canid Assassins getting the better of Horse Rick. Yeah, it seems like Horse Rick took quite a bit of damage, and you can see both Canid Assassins are in somewhat of a healthy position. Yeah, we're looking here, and the Canid Assassins are, yeah, this one's at about 60%. Granted, their HP pool is very low, but yeah, this is just ebbing even more into the favor here of the Dark Elf forces, so we'll see how it unfolds. Yeah, and over here, Dark Riders collapsing on the back of the Bleak Swords and company, and I don't know what else Norska can do. I don't know what they can do here, guys. It's looking like there's just too much Dark Elf leadership and single entity power here on the board. Hunter of Champions active, not going to do a whole lot, mainly just kind of slow down the inevitable. Canid Assassins still have a shit ton of ammo, so if this did devolve into like a kiting game, for example, the two Canid Assassins could really just be quite nasty and kite Wolfric pretty much into the Shadow Realm and then probably 2v1 him. Wand of Crydon coming down, that is Marathi's activatable item going down and trying to hit Wolfric, but he does dodge that quite happily, but yeah, look at that. Horseman getting broken off, the Hounds are broken off by the double Manticore. Soul Stealer, I mean, this is just kind of a, end me type Soul Stealer, right? It's like the game's almost over, let's just use what we can before the game ends. And it does hit the Marauders, who will soon be terror routed. Nice little flank here by the Dark Rider, shutting down the last missile play. And really, really masterful play. Like, no repeater crossbows, no Dark Shards, no Scourge Runners, and like, it was just a melee-focused build. Just winning those Soul Stealer blobs was really the focus of that. So there you have it. GG, well played. Horse Rick was really underwhelming there. He got caught fighting like assassins like in a spear wall of dread spears, and it just seemed to be awkward for sure. Yeah, really, really good stuff. Ice Power really showing that he knows his Dark Elves quite well. No Mammoths also. Mammoths are something you also see quite a bit. So I guess Mammoths, people don't bring Mammoths because they're afraid of repeater crossbows, but then there's no repeater crossbows, so yeah. It's kind of it's a vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle indeed. So, Ice Power Total War going up 1-0 here in the Grand Finals against Showtime. There you have it. Game 2. Let's set the map. Doomfire Warlocks are pretty strong there, for sure. They can do some work. Right. Map set. All right, so we're on River Amazon for the next map. So yeah, Doombolt and Wand of Coridon actually do decent damage, but if like they have to hit you right in the head, they have to bonk you right in the head. They do better against light armor too, in my experience. So, like if you have somebody pinned and you're like attacking them with Marathi, that's a really good time to use the wand. Yeah, it can do pretty well. It's hard to have stamina when Marathi is involved. Yeah, good engagements. I mean, he wins those blob fights. He baits his enemies into soul stealers and he wins the blob fights. That's how he's been doing well in those games, right? And it's so hard not to like countercharge their blob because you feel like they're just overwhelming a position for free, so you want to fight back. It's really easy to get caught in those, I'm telling you. Yeah. Yeah, he got caught the first time with his Hounds, Skinwolves, and Marauders. Not his Lord and other units, but it was still a good soul stealer. Yeah. The assassins were really nice, the Canadian assassins. I'm gonna have to take some notes. Wow, look at that. Holy shit, Dov pays. I hope that's from your stimulus check. Dov, dude, thank you. Return to the King. Wow, that's super goddamn generous. Dov plays with the fat hundy. I don't know how to thank you, man. That's the meme has become a reality. You truly do pay. I'm just gonna have to come back on one of your streams and donate like half of that back to you because I just feel bad. I know that content creator lifestyle. Thank you, man. Appreciate that, Dov. That's super generous, brother. And we're back. We're going strong. Thanks again for joining, guys. We're in the grand finals. Dov plays. The herald of the final showdown is here. Dov pays. You know, Dov, have you ever thought about starting a YouTube channel, like a finance channel called Dov Pays, where you just like talk about like stocks and ETFs and, you know, and investing? Game stonks, yeah. Oh, you made money on the game stonks, did you? I would subscribe to Dov Pays. I don't know about you guys. Dov, man, thank you so much. That's mega generous. YouTube influencer money laundering? Unfortunately, no, because Google like processes everything. So, yeah. That's so funny. Thanks again, Dov. Appreciate that. That's very generous, brother. So we got Empire. Yes, the Sons of Sigmar. They're here finally. I've been waiting all day. Looks like the spirit of Dov here in chat has summoned his Sons of Sigmar. And showtime is going Greenskins. All right, so we got Greenskins versus Empire. A classic matchup. Battle of Blackfire Pass. We're doing it. It's trading donos, I know. If you donate back, YouTube... Yeah, YouTube's the only winner. That's true. No, I could donate to Dov on PayPal. I could just like send him back. Yeah. You could do it. Oh, man. Branch out later as a competitor to PayPal. I don't know how that'd work. Probably not too well. I'm pretty terrible with... I mean, I'm okay at saving money, but like in terms of like the stock market and understanding all that, like I'm terrible. I know nothing. I'm a little bit like afraid to invest, you know? Like I'm like Smaug. Smog. I like to sit on my pile of gold, which I know is stupid because you probably like get more gold if you invest, but I'm just like, yeah. That's scary. Buy some Alphabet stock so you can earn every time when Google takes a cut of your donations. You know, yeah, Google does take a percentage of donations, but like I'm okay with it, right? Because this is like they provide this platform for me to do this for a living, so like it's understandable, right? Yeah, the moving shenanigans sucked pretty bad, but we're stable now, which is good. We're back in a good place. We are back in a good place. Hey, Das Boone, thanks for becoming a member. I see we have a new Duke of Haggard here. Welcome, welcome, Das Boone. Reminds me of Das Boot. You guys, is anybody here old enough to remember Beer Fest? I think it came out, what, in like 2004? It's like a super Haggard movie where they have like, there's like an American like professional drinking team and they like go to compete against like all of these like European drinking teams and, you know, it's just so stupid. Oh man, I loved it. But you guys remember Das Boot where they have to like drink that giant boot thing and yeah. It was so... That movie was so ridiculous. It's like that plus Eurotrip. Eurotrip was so stupid also. Oh my god, those movies. Hey, Dov, thanks, man. Trick with investing, don't risk more than you're willing to lose. Yeah, for sure. But like, I'm not willing to lose anything. That's the problem. I'm like... I think I invested... I have a couple small stock investments, but they're just like for fun, mainly. Mike, you're not going to get me this time with your name. I'm alert. I'm hydrated. You're not going to get me. I'm not reading that out loud. But Mike, thank you so much for the donation. What about crypto? Cheers. Love the content. Mike almost got... Dude, Mike almost... He's gotten me like probably 4 or 5 times on the channel. Yeah. I think Mike has gotten me many times, and I do appreciate it. Because, it, you know, it's not like super offensive, which is good. It's like that nice middle ground of trolling. Thank you for the 20, man. I really appreciate that. Such a Turin movie. You know what's really a Turin movie is Step Brothers. Step Brothers is another one of my favorites. And Talladega Nights, Anchorman, like that's all my jam. Beer Fest is great. Operation, yeah, Recipe Retrieve. Super Troopers, yeah, Super Troopers was fun. I didn't enjoy that as much as Beer Fest in those ones though. I did like Super Troopers a lot though. It was good. So someone in chat says, or Anime Spec says, I ran into Americans in Europe in the early 2000s who were like, I went to this country because of Eurotrip. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah. Yeah. Mike has gotten me on many occasions. He's a veteran of taking me down on stream with his name. Yeah. Yeah, Major Mullah, that's the thing. Like, I mean, I guess I understand like the gaming industry, but I wouldn't even know where to begin with like investing and all that. And I guess GameStop, bro. Get in on that. Yeah. Yeah, Grandma's Boy. I love that one. Oh man, Grandma's Boy is so good. That's the one where they have yeah, the guy has the monkey in his house, and then like the main antagonist is like that guy who wears like looks like Marilyn Manson in the trench coat, and he's like listening to electronic music. And yeah, Grandma's Boy is a really fun one. Holy shit, I forgot all about that movie. Oh, I love those stupid early 2000s comedies. You know, it's like everyone loves the stuff from their generation, right? So it's like, you know. Yeah, John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell for sure, big wins. There's some really good scenes in Step Brothers. Like there's a scene in Step Brothers where they yeah, and sorry guys, the players were just picking their army, so I could sit here ranting about the matchup, but you know, I feel like just messing around here. I'll talk about it once we get in. Yeah, when they go to the school ground in the deleted scenes, I think, and they like have to fight off like a horde of children. That scene is so funny. Yeah. Yeah, good times. Well, now back to the business here. We are here. We're on River Amazon, so this map does have some cover for the Greenskins, and they'll probably deploy partially in the forest for anything that's of high value, just to avoid like Hellblaster volley guns and, you know, any sort of artillery fire that the Empire might bring. But as far as how I play this matchup, I actually like to have a somewhat elite box. So Volkmar, great swords in the front. Okay, this is, yeah, you need the unbreakable core too. So we got double flagellant, Sigmar Suns, super standard. Handgunners, yep, handgunners are good against Grom the Paunch. We got a Firecaster as well to trigger Kindle Flame. Maybe, yeah, he's got Fireball and Cascading Fire Cloak. Oh, actually, yeah, the fire damage is not as pertinent because he didn't bring Flaming Sword, but it will help Knights of the Blazing Sun. So Knights of the Blazing Sun, in my opinion, are the best picks in this matchup. They're very, very good against Greenskin Cavalry and Infantry, and also are good against Trolls. And, you know, the fire damage does come into play quite a bit. So does the magic resistance against Spirit Leech and whatnot. So, yeah, this is a good build. It's quite strong. You know, plenty of anti-infantry via the Flagellants, Knights of the Blazing Sun, Volkmar, and then to deal with, like, big, powerful lords like Azag, for example, you have triple handgunner. So you just got to make sure those handgunners are protected, and you can do your piece. So, and again, Dav, thank you so much, man, for that donation. And Mike, I really do appreciate that. That is super generous. Say hi to my dad. You went to high school together? Oh, was that a quote from a movie or something? Yeah, okay. Well, I was like, I doubt you went to high school with my dad. Back in ye old New York. And now for the forces here of Showtime. Showtime currently down a game against Ice Power Total War and the Sons of Sigmar. He's got a battle line of Orc Boys with some Black Orcs in the back. The Black Orcs certainly a very choice target for Volkmar's banishments as well as the handgunners. On top of that, we got some Orc Boarboy Biggins. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, pretty standard Greenskins. Spider Rider Missile Core. And that's it. But the Black Orcs, yeah, they'll take a pretty righteous hammering with proper handgun play. So we'll see how that unfolds. Volkmane the Grim and Grimhoof are here. Yeah. These are the two majestic horses of Sigmar. All the weapon damage in the world comes from them. No, don't mind the altar and Volkmar roaring up there. These horses are the ones that do all the heavy lifting. Look at that thing's face. This is a horse that's seen some things. He's been to the Chaos Waste and back, and he has slain many Chaos champions and is ready to go and do work against the Greenskins here this day. Let's do it to it. Volkmane and Grimhoof. Yeah, Volkmar is great. He's very powerful. And Ice Power clearly knows this. I think Volkmar the Grim is probably, I would put him in the top 5 best legendary lords in all of multiplayer, among all factions. I think he is very, very good. Wait a sec. Choking on a pair. Oh boy. All right. So apparently Ice Power ate a pair and he's struggling with it. Hopefully he's okay. Let's stand by and make sure. I know he's in Discord with some folks, so. Banishment is just really good. I mean, it kills whatever it touches, basically, right? It's not good against low model count units, so you don't want to use it against like trolls and shit like that. But against like densely packed elite units, like Black Orcs, that's going to be super money, right? So Banishment's just good in general. It doesn't matter. Like, it's good against armor, no armor. It's just, it hits very, very hard. So, yeah. It has high armor piercing values, obviously. That's why it wrecks such units. So, Ice Power has survived the pair encounter, which is good. Actually, legitimately had me stressed there for a second. Although, I think if it was a serious issue, he wouldn't have, like, typed it to us. Probably would have sought help in his home. The pair currently is 1-0 against Ice Power Total War. Yeah. 1-0. Imagining this is canon, or are you talking about Deathhoof and Volkmar the Grim? Yeah, those are some serious things. You know, I can't remember the last time I had a pair. I must have been like 8 years old. I've never really liked pairs for some reason. Yeah, you know what I'm really craving right now? I just want to go get like an everything bagel and just get some jam on it, some Nutella or something. Yeah, I don't know why. Just occurred. So the Empire forces moving forward. It's a pretty good map for them. They have some natural chokes. The Greenskins would be the faction that are trying to surround you, right? So it's kind of cool, right? Like the Empire gets a little bit of chokes to work with and some terrain, but the Greenskins also get the cover of forest. So in terms of like bringing something to the table for both factions here, I think that's quite cool. So handgunners moving forward. Obviously they can outrange the Meiji Marauders and the Skirmishers. Azag better be careful though. If he comes too close and all 3 handgunners just unleash on him, he's gonna have a really, really bad time. Because it's much harder to juke handgunner fire. I would imagine Ice Baby will shoot here. Let's see. No shots yet. Nice little Spirit Leech going down to the Bright Wizard. Able to butter his bread, but you know, he'll be okay. So yeah, the Greenskins probably just delay the engagement here and maybe just Spirit Leech spam the Bright Wizard. But on that same note, you know, the Bright Wizard can just run back and hide in the trees if he wants to. There's plenty of counterplay for both players here. So Showtime getting ready to surround here. The Spider Riders getting on the flank, looking to probably angle on the handgunners here. It's hard to say. Yeah, I think they're going to be positioning like right here and trying to shoot into the exposed hide of these handgunners here. So we will see. We got the Spearmen with shields. Nice to have those shields against the skirmish units. Obviously, they get, what, the 35% chance, I think is what it is? Yeah, shielded units, 35%. Yeah, so they're going strong. The Greenskins taking a very, very conservative approach and obviously are doing a little bit of poking with their Goblin Wolf Rider archers. You can see here on the flank they are attacking, right? So in order to obey the attacking rule, he's going to need to shoot with his skirmishers. And that's what he's doing, right? He's just going to shoot. The Empire's just going to weather it, but the problem with sitting too long and kind of, you know, playing this style of play here for the Empire is that the Bright Wizard is eventually going to get picked. It might be worth it to actually press the Greenskin army and get up there, although the handgunners do provide you with some pretty good counter-skirmishing. Those silver bullets should be able to range the Meiji Marauders and really put some hurt on those guys. So we will see. Spirit Sand says, Turin, come on over to my place. I've got everything bagels as well as cream cheese and jam. That sounds pretty good, man. Although I don't really eat dairy anymore, so I need some sort of a fake substitute. Fireball going downtown from the Bright Wizard. And does it hit Azag? Oh, Azag with the jukes, man. He neos that shit. And he is able to get around that, so good stuff so far. Handgunners still ranging the Goblin Wolf Rider archers, and the other ones kind of skirmishing about in the front. Please remember, I'm under no obligation to attack you in a forest. Yeah, that's right. So a lot of his army is over here in the forest. So yeah, if somebody has the majority of their army in the forest, they don't have to attack. But, you know, sometimes this map does lead to this particular situation, so. Forest Goblin Spider Rider archers circling around, maybe looking to flush out that Bright Wizard. Clearly the Greenskins really want to butter that bread. There's no Pistoliers around, I don't think, to chase. There's not too much mobility here for the Empire. Now the Greenskin skirmishers coming in again. And yeah, they're just going to be taking some handgunner fire. Like, every time they come in, they're going to get blasted pretty good, as long as Ice Power moves up these handgunners a little bit. But honestly, the amount of damage that's come on the Flagellants here is pretty good. So the Greenskin army has advanced out a little bit. You can see now there's only like 1 or 2 units kind of hiding in the trees right here. So I would imagine the Empire force probably will advance now. As far as trading goes, I mean, where's that Bright Wizard? Yeah, he's back here. Azag maybe coming in for another Spirit Leech. Let me have a sip of water here real quick. Yeah, that's good stuff right there. Anyone tried Dave's Killer Bagels? I never have. No, I'd be interested though. You got me listening. Will he dodge that fireball? Does not look like it. The fireball does hit Azag right in his 70 armor. And the Greenskin skirmishers continuing to just kind of poke and looking for openings, but Handgunners should be able to, like I said, with proper positioning, get some big DACA back on them. And yeah, nice couple shots right there. A couple of those Spider Riders do get picked off. And the Empire Army just going to keep moving forward here, it looks like. And yeah, they're just hanging out. Handgunner shooting. It's kind of an interesting thing as far as like attacking rules and whatnot go. Because like the Spider Riders keep moving in, so the handgunners now are shooting. And I'll give the players a warning here in a second that they both need to kind of engage here. So because they're both kind of skirting the rule, like the edge of the rules with attacking. But yeah, both players need to attack here. Yeah, because he's not in the forest here. He's moving forward, so. All right, so both players must attack. He is not in forest anymore. All right, we'll let him know. We'll give him a heads up. We'll be good to go. Flagellants, of course, took a little bit of a hammering. These players played this morning, so they're obviously quite privy to the tricks and schemes that the other one has. They played in the World Championship. Oh yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. Like having traveled to a couple places in Europe, seeing the dynamics of like food portion size. Oh man, like when Lady Turin came here, I remember her being pretty surprised about like how heavily packed our plates are. It's some serious stuff. So Empire's moving forward now. Both players moving in. Crisis averted. No dreaded rules break. Where's Vicious Satsuma when you need him? He's the one who's cursed. He either picks one too many Spider Riders or faces someone who breaks the rules against him like 10 times. It's like a running gag in the community now. Azag with the mean jukes. Showtime able to drop that one down there. And now the handgunner should be in range. Volkmar moving forward with the Flagellants. Sigmar's Sons. Volkmar could start going deep right over here, honestly. Although Azag and Pig Cavalry are here, so he could like move in, attack the Black Orcs, blob them up, and then handgun fire Azag when Azag tries to run interference. Handgunners here getting some nice volleys onto the Morgum's Mangy Marauders. And here comes the Sigmar Sons. It looks like the Flagellants were a little bit of a swing and a miss. They kind of went the wrong way, but Sigmar Sons should have the advantage here. Ooh, the Volkmar Banishment's coming. Let's go ahead and see if Showtime can dodge this. That could be really, really good. Ooh, nice Banishment. Going down. Let's see what direction it goes. Okay, not the best, but not the worst. He's also going to be using Soulfire, so basically just doing his best to nuke these ROR Goblins, and so far it seems to be paying relatively nicely. In the backfield, we see the Goblin Wolf Riders still trying to poke in, but the handgunner positions have been quite good, but the Greenskins now moving in. Eye to the Blazing Sun moving in to engage as well. Should be able to hammer down these goblins as these brave Sigmarites really get a nice shock charge right there. And those poor goblins are going to be paying the Troll Toll. However, a very good Spirit Leech. And also a nice follow-up by the Orc Warboy Biggins. Azag could even engage here himself. Wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea, but he's got to watch out for these handgunners nearby. That could really do some substantial damage. Black Orcs obviously will massacre Flagellants in combat. A little bit of a blob here for the Greenskins. A couple openings, honestly. You could maybe send some Spider Riders or other units here into the handgun line. But so far, it seems like the Empire is in a relatively commanding position. Here, the Knights of the Blazing Sun moving down the front. And it looks like they're just trying to layer on. Azag, I wonder where Azag's going to go. The Wa is active. That's quite nice. Going to give the Greenskins a pretty big boon in combat here as the Flagellants continue to get massacred. But that's their job. Getting massacred for Sigmar is their thing. Yeah, it doesn't look like... I mean, there's a couple openings, right? When the Empire Knights went in here to the front, the Greenskins should have slipped in after those handgunners here. And same thing here. There was a couple opportunities where the Empire Knights committed to other engagements when they could, and it would have allowed the Greenskins to maybe come in and get these archers, but yeah, it's a bit of a tricky pickle. Bit of a tricky pickle indeed. So Azag flying around, just kind of lurking, looking for engagements. Azag normally a good counter against Volkmar, but it seems like Azag hasn't been active enough per se. Yeah, let's look at him and his value accrued so far. Yeah, only 330, and he's really expensive. He's got his buffing item plus, the magic. Like he needs to get in there and be really like going after something. Because the Greenskins are falling a little bit behind in this game, but all it's going to take is one good, compromise of the handgunners, and then suddenly you have an even game on your hands, right? Because we still have Black Orcs fighting here, but man, oh man, they're getting peppered real good. There's only a couple Flagellants left holding them in place, so these Sigmarite handgunners are just going to be just going ham in here. Also, there's no Brain Bust. The Brain Bust is very good against formations like this, so yeah, Black Orcs getting put down. With the Black Orcs being hammered like that, you can see that the balance of power is really starting to shift into the favor of the Sons of Sigmar here. Spearman moving out, going after the Forest Goblin Spider Riders, and yeah, man, that's looking to be probably an Empire victory, unless Azag really hard carries this. This is a good start for sure. Going after the Bright Wizard, but now like there's not enough threats for the Greenskins. Like the handgunners can make a very easy decision of going after Azag. Looks like there's a banishment going down from Volkmar. Might actually rotate into the Sigmar Sons if he's not careful, so he's got to watch out for that. And where is he going to go? Spider Riders getting on top of handgunners, a very good catch. The other ones need to be looping around and shutting down the other handgunners, because if you don't get all three of them at once, or at least two of them, the crossfire is going to peel off, right? You can see the handgunners here covering their buddies, blasting those Wolf Riders off. And the bounce power is really starting to show quite heavily here in this situation. So player names are on the wrong side. Oh, are they? Okay, I can switch those, no problem. Yeah, sorry. The player names are on the wrong side. Yeah, I'll get it fixed for you guys. Thank you. What do you think about Azag and AoE buffs he gives? I think they're pretty good. Like, you can bring Azag with Spirit Leech and then like a Brain Buster Shaman against Empire just to help deal with handgunners. But yeah, this is like one of the variations of the way to play this. You can go Franz, you can go Volkmar. They're both very good here. As long as you bring something to deal with Azag via handgunners when you bring Volkmar, you're good. Solid play. And that's that. GG there. All right. So 1 second, guys. Let's go ahead and find another map here. 1 sec. Need to explore this. And let me go ahead and switch their nameplates here too. So Ice Power is up 2 here. And we can switch. Yeah. That should do the trick. Update. Look at that. The power of technology. All right. And let's go ahead here. Set this up here while I set up the next map. Bear with me, guys. And we will do... Eschen is an interesting one. We did Drakenhof earlier. We can do a Karak map. I'm trying to remember what the good maps are for the Tomb Kings. Yeah, we already did a small map. One moment, guys. We'll do Sword of Torgold map set. All right. Oh, yeah, sorry, I thought you had more units. Okay, in the forest. All right, I'm looking here. So 1 sec, guys. Just gonna read their comments. They had some questions about rules and stuff, so I'm just gonna clarify that with them real quick, and I'll be back in just a hot moment. So hang tight, guys, and how about we hail the mighty for a moment? So I'm just gonna let you guys hail the mighty, and we'll be right back.
The blood runs cold. We take our loot, but don't get old.
All right, I hope you guys had fun hailing the mighty there. I've corrected the scorecards, and I'll be jumping into the next game. Yeah. Cool. So we clarified that. 6 spears. What are you saying? What? How many spears? Was there too many spears? Oh my god, really? Is there like a minor rule break like that? Let me look. Let me go ahead and look. I need to see the replay. Spears are 5 max. Oh, is that really the case? Okay, 1 sec. So, hold on. So, you may have had too many spears, Ice. Obviously, you know, when we're playing casual games on the channel, but in tournaments where there's money on the line and whatnot, you usually have to enforce these, like, minutia like that. So, I think you had 6. Let me check. Yeah, I think he's catching it right now. So what we can do, since there was kind of a gray area too, because that whole game was a little bit funky, because both players kind of had weird engagements where there were Spider Riders not quite attacking while Spirit Leech was like flying overhead. Also on top of that, there was a little bit of like weird terrain circumstances. The Empire didn't advance at several points towards the Greenskins also. They were just kind of sitting idly. So there was a couple weird rule breaks in that match in general, so I think it'd probably be prudent just to have the players like replay them, which is fine. It's more games for you. So all right, no problem. Just replay the game. The game was weird with rule breaks overall anyways. Okay, cool. So we're just gonna replay that. It's fine. That they can just pick and ban again and do the same thing. Yeah. All right. Oh no, don't worry, Turin. I mean, if Showtime just wants to advance, that's fine. It's good for me. Not even a close game. Okay, no problem. Okay, if he wants to do that, it's fine. So Showtime doesn't care. He's like, it's just one spear, whatever. Which, you know, if the players decide that's fine, then okay, they can move on. I'm not gonna cause drama about that. Sorry guys, no more games. However, at the very end, we will do an FFA. Look at that, Showtime. What a good sport. Let's hear a big round of applause for Showtime here, man. Like, because there are a lot of players who like will lose a game and it's really like there's an insignificant rule break like a spear, but you still have to enforce it as a tournament host. But like there's people who will nitpick just to try and get a replay. But in this case, Showtime really showing some good sportsmanship, which is cool. All right. So Showtime doesn't want to replay it. He's ready to go to the next game. He felt like he lost that one regardless of the spears and this extra spear unit. We're going to do it. Showtime, a good lad. Yeah, I do play Warhammer on tabletop. Yeah, I play 40k, and I do have an Age of Sigmar army, but I've only played like 2 games of Age of Sigmar ever. Showtime knows he's about to sweep here. Yeah, all right. That game had some questionable, it was still fun to watch, but there was some weird like skirting the rules type things. So, you know, it's fine if they want to go forward that way. That's cool. Yeah. Oh, stretching out the old leg. Yeah, it's I know from an outside perspective, like not an outside perspective per se, but from a perspective, a lot of the like rules about limitations on infantry and things like that might seem a little bit strange, but ultimately, like, these are rule sets that have developed over several years, and without these rules, like enforcing, especially with single entities and like magic abuse, like bringing the same spell in like 3 casters and just spamming, like the game would be very poor in multiplayer. So yeah. All right, so because there are certain things that, like, if you didn't, there are certain low tier troops that if you didn't limit them, it could be a little bit oppressive in certain matchups. So you need to be uniform across the board, basically. So yeah, it's complicated for sure. It's complicated. The rule break is 8 bloated corpses. You see, that's what we need in here. That's what we need. Okay, so they're now on single bans, which certainly changes the dynamic of the matchup. I think the best thing that the rules have addressed, though, in this game is single entities. Like, single entity abuse in game 1 was, like, horrible. Oh, my God. Like, I actually went back recently, was watching some Warhammer 1 tournaments and events and games I had on my channel, and I was like, holy shit, that was, like, that was super unbalanced. Like, some of the stuff that existed in Warhammer 1. Like, where Fate Abuna cost, like, 13 wins of magic, and it just, like, instant deleted a unit. Like, it doesn't matter what it was. You could cast it, like, 3 or 4 times and just, like, kill half their army with Buna. Yeah, game 1 had some real bad balancing issues, for sure. Game 2, I think, is more balanced overall, which is impressive considering there's more factions, right? But Creative Assembly has also made more of an effort to kind of amp up the multiplayer. I mean, it's not, like, super heavy investment on their part, but it's still something, so yeah. There are certain factions. So here's the thing: if you were to change, if you were to remove the rules completely, the meta would change drastically. Like, certain factions would be much better, some would be worse. It'd be wild. It'd be wild. Yeah. Yeah, so Ice Power wouldn't get a loss for that. If the players had decided, like, yeah, like, we want to enforce that rule break there, like, he wouldn't have gotten a loss. It would have just been a replay, which is whatever, you know? Yeah. Oh my God, Warhammer 1 had so much bad shit in it, and there was some egregious stuff, like potions. So there was a time when, like, all heroes, like, not all, but a lot of heroes could carry potions, and it was just, like, so disgusting. And there was no healing caps. Can you guys believe that shit? Back in the early days of Warhammer 1, there was no healing caps. So basically, factions like Vampire Counts, and also, you know what else? Summons didn't disappear. So, you, like, Vampire Count players, like, would bring, like, a Vampire Caster, a Necromancer, and, like, they would summon, like, a total of, like, 1,600, like, or 1,200 extra gold in zombies, and they stay forever. Also, there was no healing cap, so the Mortis engine provided infinite healing. Oh my God, that shit was so wild. Yeah. Like, Vampire Counts are probably one of the most disgusting armies without rules, too. Yeah. Like, multiple Mortis engines, like, multiple Vargulfs running around. It's just like, yeah. There was no healing caps. This shit was bonkers, dude. It was bonkers. Yeah. Summons were permanent. Yeah, you would summon a Cygor, and that shit was. I remember back in Warhammer 1 when I would play competitive games, I used to main Beastmen all the time because you would play Beastmen. You bring a Cygor summoner, dude. You just dunk on people. You summon like 2 free Cygors. You're getting like 3,600 gold for free, and it stays the whole game. And Morker's Chaos Spawn stayed the whole game. Insane. Like Beastmen were really, really scary back then. Yeah. It was really fun to play. It was like the Wild West, right? It was like mixed martial arts in the 90s. There was like eye pokes and dick punches and like all this kind of stuff, you know? Like the Cygor summons are like the metaphorical 90s MMA dick punch, which existed in like hair pulling. That was like Warhammer 1. Like Warhammer 2 is more like, you know, okay, the fighters wear gloves. There's no, you know, kneeing a down opponent. There's no, you know, dick punches. Like it's, you know, it's a more reasonable experience for sure. Yeah. Oh my god. You know, we should do a video on that, like the old Warhammer 1 haggardness. Yeah. I play Death Guard in 40k. I play Death Guard and Chaos Space Marines. I have every Death Guard unit. Yeah. Yeah, and Dov plays in chat bringing it up. Dov reminding us that they had 4. He had 4 spawn summons. So his staff could summon 2 and his Spirit Essence summoned another 2. It was insane. Beastmen were so strong in Warhammer 1. Yeah, Morker had 4 spawn summons. That's right. All right. All right, so we're on Sword of Torgald. It's Skaven versus Wood Elves. Yeah, because a lot of you guys probably came in with Warhammer 2 and weren't there for the Dark Ages of those times. But yeah, they were Dark Ages. Yeah. Yeah, they were Dark Ages. Yeah, dude, it's so funny to go back and watch like 1990s like MMA mixed martial arts. There's literally a fight where there's like this I think it was Keith Hackney versus Joe Sun. I can't remember, but it was a fight where this like the one fighter has the other guy in a headlock and like kind of has him in like a not a bulldog choke, but like just a headlock on the ground. And the other fighter, to escape the headlock, just starts punching the guy right in the wiener, like right on it, dude. It's like one of the most brutal things ever, and you're just like, oh god. And then there's another really famous fight with Hoist Gracie and Chemo. Where Hoist Gracie is like losing the fight, so he grabs Chemo's ponytail and starts just punching him in the face. Like he holds them down with his ponytail that he had, and eventually they outlawed all that shit in MMA because it was just stupid. But like, yeah, that's what Warhammer 1 was. Yeah, those were the times. Yeah, good old Warhammer 1. Yeah, Dwellers Below was a Warhammer 2 thing though. I don't think that was Warhammer 1. Yeah, I can't remember. Those were the times. Yeah, head kicks, soccer kicks to a grounded opponent, and the head is like, that was, I think that happened in Pride even. Yeah, what's his name? Vanderlei Silva used to do that a lot. Yeah, crazy shit. What is Guac? What are you saying is the only nice thing to have back? Oh, you're talking about the Pegasus Knights? Yeah, being good. Well, Pegasus Knights used to be good in this game because what they did is they all dove the target and like hit at the same time. So you could take like a Royal Pegasus Knight unit and just like insta kill Kolek like with proper support or like big monsters. It was nuts. Yeah. I wonder if they'll do a 40k Total War after AOS. Yeah, I think they'll do a 40k Total War after Warhammer 3, but not before a big historical title. I think they'll do. I'm gonna make a video about that. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do a video on that, on all this. I think that'll be really fun to discuss. We'll include some like funny stuff, some analogies. Yeah. Oh my god, I already have such funny ideas for it. Holy shit, I'm hyped now. Yeah. Oh man, you guys got me all hyped. So my prediction for Creative Assembly's roadmap, I think they'll do Warhammer 3, obviously, and then I think they'll have a major historical title. I don't know what it'll be. I don't know, maybe another... Would they do another Shogun game? Probably not. Shogun 2 is like so good still. Maybe like Medieval. Everyone's like kind of clamoring for that. So maybe they do Medieval, and then after that we get like a couple shitty sagas, and then after that we get like Warhammer 40k Total War. That's my prediction. I'd be willing to put money on that. I actually think that's like the roadmap they're gonna go. And we'll still be, you know, Warhammer 3 DLCs will go on for a couple of years. Like, there's so much content in the old world, right? So, So this is going to be interesting. Skaven just got nerfed. Yeah. Skaven just got nerfed. They took some hits on the Brood Horrors, and here Ice Power is still using the Brood Horrors. So he's got Throt the Unclean and a Packmaster, both of whom, you know, certainly can do some gooning, but they're also very big targets for Wood Elf Archers, so pretty interesting. Poison Wind Mortars both also got nerfed, but still are a very good unit. Plague Priest, Rat Ogres, and Skaven Slaves and Clan Rats. Skaven Slaves got a cost increase, so yeah, many of the units that Ice Power is using have been nerfed across the board. Yeah, I'm gonna be using that bingo card. I should have used it today. Damn it. Yeah. Damn, I should have done that. We'll use it for the faction war. Don't worry, it's gonna happen. So we got a Spellweaver of Life. Spellweaver of Life is here with the Awakening of the Wood. We got double Waystalker over here in the low ground. We got Deepwood Scouts as well. Deepwood Scouts are quite good against Skaven. They can snipe ogres, monsters, and they have pretty good range at 180, so they can actually creep up on weapon teams with their stock. Glade Riders with Spears, all you really need to dive the back line of Skaven. And yeah, Dryads aside from that. And the Lord, of course, is going to be a Spellweaver of Life, like I said. Not too many high-value targets to heal, so I kind of question the efficacy of the Spellweaver here, but I guess healing your Dryads and, you know, your Waystalkers isn't necessarily a bad idea, so. Med 3 would be great, but I think CA said, oh, they're going to do Med 3. How could they not? That's such a cash cow for them. Yeah, I think they're going to do it. I don't know when. Yeah, I think it'd be very easy for them to do. So in Warhammer 40k, there's a couple depictions of warfare, right? You have like squad-based tactical combat, more skirmish focused, which yeah, could be more like Company of Heroes with like cover. But also if you look at like the old school art, and you know, they have grand battles that are just huge open field cockfights, right? I think that's how they would more approach it. Less tactical, more like grand warfare, which would be super fun. Anyways. So right here we do have the double Deepwood Scouts shooting into the Poison Wind Globadiers. And they have 100 armor. Those rats are wearing some heavy metal plate. It's funny, you have like yeah, Poison Wind Globes with 100 armor, and then you have things like Dwarf Warriors who have like, what, like 75 or 80 or 90 or something. Yeah, pretty fun stuff. So Mortar's going downtown. I'm going to start bombarding the poor Deepwood Scouts, although where are they going? Maybe they're going after the Spellweavers, can't quite tell. But they do hit home, and now the poison damage is going to start ticking. And a nice summon here by Ice Power Total War. Basically going to be trying to maximize the efficiency of his mortars, making sure they can shoot. But man, look at this. The double Waystalker really showing its teeth right now, as those dudes are able to rip some big shots into the Plague Priest right here. Plague Priest really getting hammered nice and good like. Deepwood Scouts here going to be advancing up, probably going to be trying to get to those mortars. And here we do have a little bit of light flank pressure coming in from the Glade Rider Spears. Those bad boys are able to move in there, and probably not worth it in the end. But yeah, all four Deepwood Scouts I think are in concave range to fire. 1, 2, 3. No, it looks like one of them's actually a little bit back set. Nice dodge there from Showtime. He pulls back those Deepwood Scouts and is able to avoid the focus fire. And the Deepwood Scouts now continuing to shoot into the Poison Wind Globadiers. Curious to shoot at the Globadiers. I guess you can't really get in range of the other targets. Getting the mortars would certainly feel a little bit better. Mortars only have 70 armor, but he would have to be pretty close to the Skaven battle lines to do that. And honestly, I think Wood Elves are okay with this kind of style of play. Just kind of, you know, lightly poking in and using the Waystalkers to either snipe the Plague Priest here or to go after the mortars, which it looks like they're now going after the mortar teams. Yeah. So now we have a Deepwood Scout shooting at the mortars, and we do also have a Waystalker shooting at the mortars as well. So players are saying good luck, have fun. Good sportsmanship between these two guys who are clearly friends. I love to see that. And yeah, the mortar team's starting to get hammered a little bit. One of them has gone down. The mortar's now returning some fire here onto the old Deepwood Scouts. And the Brood Horrors looking like they're going to be summoned. You got to be careful though. Throt and the Packmaster, they got a mass decrease, so if they actually get trapped now, it's going to be much harder for them to escape. And the double Waystalkers and Deepwood Scouts, if they all switch their focus onto like a trapped Packmaster or a trapped Throt. Did you guys see that arrow? The Waystalker like shot that arrow and it did like a 360 spin and like chased them. Oh man, I don't know if I've ever quite seen that, but now the Wood Elf flank is getting in position as well. So right here you can see Showtime getting ready to push in with his Glade Riders. Really going to be looking for an opening in the Skaven army. And honestly, it's a pretty close fight so far. I wouldn't say anybody's in a super advantageous position. The Skaven have gotten some good value, of course, with their mortars. But obviously, you know, the Globadier is going to be taking a bit of a hammering here. And ammunition is at about half here from the Poison Wind mortars. So I wonder if the Wood Elves are just going to ignore the mortars? Yeah, hard to say. The Spellweaver of Life, obviously not super impactful in the combat phases here. But Throt the Unclean is a little bit exposed right now. He's kind of behind enemy lines. There's a lot of archers that can draw line of sight on him. And if he does get stuck in something with his new lowered mass, that could be a problem. But it looks like he gets away quite happily. Throt's still very fast, very elusive, too fast, too furious. That bad boy does not mess around. So some Rat Ogres overextending a little bit. The Pit Fighters of Helm's Deep are now going to be getting barraged by those Deepwood Scouts. Perhaps they'll be retreating. Yeah, it looks like there's a retreat order given by Ice Power Total War here. And now the Wild Riders with shields probably going to scream up and around. There's a bit of an opening. Like, you could go here with the Wild Riders, and if the Ogres try and intercept you in open field, you ride them down. A charging Wild Rider should do some devastating damage against the Pit Fighters, and it looks like that's what we're going to get. So Showtime moving in. Nice charge right there. Many of these Rat Ogres will fall, probably on impact. Yeah, you can see a huge damage coming in. And the Pit Fighters, though they are a powerful ROR, probably will pay the ultimate troll tool there. Deepwood Scouts, still pretty good on ammunition, actually. And you can see some of the supporting fire coming into the Ogres here. This would be a really big break. Breaking these Pit Fighters here, opening up the whole flank, definitely a very, very money play. And it looks like another summon coming in from the Plague Priest. Going to be dropping a Clan Rat summon in front of the Dryads here. The Plague Priest now moving in to act as a screen, dropping the Clan Rat summon as well as the Plague Priest summon, I would imagine. Yeah, it looks like he has both summons in his pocket here. And the Plague Priest summon definitely quite good. Globadiers getting some nasty fire, also friendly firing their Plague Monks, but Plague Monks bathe in the filth of the Horned Rat. I'm sure they're enjoying that quite a bit. But unfortunately, the summon didn't quite block it. And now the Dryads are going to be getting into the cookie jar, while Showtime appears to be slightly pulling ahead in some respects. The Plague Priest here might actually be on its way out, with both Waystalkers shooting it, and the Deepwood Scouts unleashing some serious volleys, although it looks like they're still going after the mortars. At this point, I almost wonder if it's worth going after the mortars. I guess, like, if you can break them, but they're so confident with 8 of 9 models. They pretty much used all of their ammunition. Man, they're hitting both targets here. Despite the nerfs, those mortars have probably done some disgusting damage. So let's go ahead and jump in here and take a look. Yeah, bounce power actually evens out a little bit. So if you look here, yeah, 1800 value. So yeah, mortars are still insanely strong here. So the Rout Ogres were pushed back, but they've rallied here. Now the Glade Riders and other units going to be finally getting into the cookie jar here. And the Deepwood Scouts, of course, doing a good job against the other Rout Ogres. And the Plague Priest is going to be going down. So a lot of nice picks here for the Wood Elves here, as the Spellweaver of Life does get in there. But again, I'm wondering about the application of life here. I feel like there's no targets worth healing. If there had been some sort of another character, even the Sisters of Twilight, for example, I think it could have been a little bit stronger. So right here, the Glade Rider is going to be intercepting the Rat Ogres, but Throt the Unclean is nearby and could perhaps help stabilize that situation with his Master Controller trait. He does give pretty nice leadership to nearby units. Creature Killer as well. Gives him that bonus for large. And now the Skaven are without a caster. So the caster is down. The Spellweaver able to take that bad boy out. We got some Wild Riders coming in to try and collapse this position. I think the Wood Elf Archers probably at this point will switch on to the Packmaster. Waystalker's about out of ammo. I don't know about the situation with the Volleys of Kurnus, but it's looking like Ice Power might be coming ahead in this game. As ammunition runs out, you know, there's only going to be a bunch of Haggard missile units having to fight a full health Throt and a full health Packmaster, whereas the Spellweaver of Life isn't going to do much against either of those. Although it still is a great Eagle, you know, potentially cycle charging, but here comes the Packmaster. He's coming for blood, man, and he's going after that Spellweaver of Life and should be able to get some substantial damage. Spellweaver gets back up in the sky. Shots continuing to go downtown here, and let's see where this dreaded Eagle can go. Yeah, looks like it's looking for some engagements. It's looking to hunt. Oh man, those mortar shots hurt, dude. The mortars hit both Deepwood Scouts. They're very tightly packed. Those mortars, man, must have gotten close to 3,000 value. They've done so much damage this game. And I think Showtime falling a little bit behind here. I would say in the mid and early game, Showtime had some good engagements, was a little bit ahead, but the Skaven have really been able to maximize the value of their mortars while also making sure that Throt the Unclean as well as the Packmaster are in good shape. Neither of them have really had their bread buttered, so that's something to consider. So here they come. Spellweaver going in. The mortars are finally shut down, but I mean, too little too late. I would assure you that they're probably close to 3,000 gold value. What can the Wood Elves do to pull this game out? I mean, they still have the double Waystalker. You know, Brood Horrors in general aren't super good against foot-based characters, so if there are some like Dryads and Waystalkers like fighting, maybe they'll be able to do it, but in order to have that route be successful, the Wood Elves need to make sure they break everything, right? They need to break all the Clan Rats and get all those guys off the battlefield. And it looks like he's doing a good job of doing that. He does have the Wild Riders kind of, you know, routing off these guys and now pushing into the Skaven Slaves here, and those guys are broken. And despite the bounce power being pretty Ice Power favored, I think maybe the Waystalkers could do something. He's got to be careful with that Spellweaver. He needs to now really maximize those Earthbloods and keep those Waystalkers alive. It looks like an Earthblood going down in the Dryads there should be able to kind of top them off a little bit. And you know, with those rules being considered, if Throt and the Packmaster have to sit and sustain combat, let's say the rest of the Skaven forces are all broken off, they could lose that for sure. But if they're able to get some spear support and rally some units, I think the Skaven might still win it. Yeah, it's hard to say. Very, very close game. But, oh man, that could have been a pretty catastrophic misplay there by Showtime, who is actually coming back in this game. But if the Spellweaver gets caught by the fast rats, oh, that's close. Arcane Conduit, man, if they get that bird, that's going to be a big problem. It looks like it's okay. Wild Riders should be able to buckle this instantly. Like, honestly, moving the Dryads, rear charge the Clan Rats, and you're gonna be totally okay. You can see these Clan Rats are already wavering just by looking at these cavalry. So the cavalry come in, nice little charge. Dryads need to get in there and cause that fear as well. The other Glade Riders moving in, and it looks like there are some Warp Grinders in the back. Hey, look at that. There's actually some ammunition. Really nice Earthblood too. So now the Earthbloods are starting to kind of pay their dividends here. Although those Clan Rats really need to be buckled off. Yeah, the Spellweaver of Life getting in there, starting to attack throughout the Unclean. It still does have 390 weapons ring, so it's not insignificant. Oh man, but the back pocket, look at that! He's got the Rat Ogres, man. Oh, that's so strong. That's going to probably help break this Wood Elf position. So what the Wood Elves need to do now is just abandon ship. They need to pull back and just get their bearings and try and make sure their Waystalkers don't get beaten down by the Packmasters with the Rat Ogre support. That was really strong. Definitely wasn't too many situations in the game where that was needed, and saving it to the late game I think is a beautiful play here. But Rat Ogre's got some time, man, and there are some missiles left. The Deepwood Scouts ripping their last couple shots. They've been able to shoot for a lot of this game, which is nice. But man, oh man, those Waystalkers are going to have to carry. But leadership could become a big issue for this game, and his Throt the Unclean is actually wavering now. Man, if Throt breaks, that's big. His leadership's very low. He's at 10, 13. Both of the Waystalkers are fighting in there. This is an incredibly close battle. He's at his healing cap too. But the Spellweaver does use the Opal Amulet. It's quite low. It needs to get away. Throt doesn't want to take too much damage from that big bird there. And if Throt breaks, that might just do it, honestly. Because the Rat Ogres are going to disappear, and the Waystalkers aren't terrible in combat. They have 55-45 for their combat stats. Now, the Spellweaver on the Eagle is faster than Throt. So Throt should get chased down. Despite having 107 speed, this Eagle has 107 or 110 or something. Yeah, I think it's 110. The Rat Ogres are about to disappear. Man, what a scrappy comeback here by Showtime. He was down for a moment, but never out. Never out indeed. And here comes the Spellweaver Earthblooding, chasing down Throt the Unclean. And now the rest of the Skaven army does get some Clan Rats back, but the Clan Rats are shaken. Probably going to break off here. There's no more leadership buffs from Throt. And that Packmaster is just going to have to fight those two Legolas wannabes here on the ground. Going to have to do it. Man, we're getting more games, I think. I think we are. Oh, look at the Warp Grinders in the back, though, from Ice Power. Able to nail those Dryads there. That's pretty cool. Waystalkers, will they carry? I think so. I think they will, because I think there's no way Throt's coming back. Unless, you know, Showtime misclicks for a moment and, you know, lets Throt come back. I don't think there's any chance. But if Throt comes back, that could actually be a problem. That could 100% be a problem. How are the Waystalkers doing? Those Clan Rats are very close to breaking. That's also a big factor, too. If the Clan Rats outlast the Dryads here and stay the course, that could be a big issue. And here comes the Packmaster moving after the Deepwood Scouts. Oh boy, but there's Warp Grinders too. There's a Warp Grinder team. Oh man, this game is just drama galore, dude. Now this is pod racing. Perhaps the reverse sweep, we'll see. I don't know. Don't call it a comeback. Showtime's been here for years. Yeah, little LL Cool J. I was watching some TV the other day, and LL Cool J came on. He's like on some CSI show. I was like, oh, that's the guy who's saying Mama said knock you out. And now he's playing this cop here, which is fun. Hello, Cool J. Yeah, I used to like a couple of those songs. So here comes the Waystalker moving in. Going to be going after the Packmaster. The Dryads do get on top of the Warp Grinder team. How many Dryads? 17 Dryads against 7 Warp Grinders. Should be able to win that fight, assuming they don't get Warp Grinded. And now the Packmasters are battling the Waystalkers. It all comes down to Walmart Legolas here. If the Packmaster can defeat both of them, that'd be really, really brutal. Holy shit. How's leadership? I'm pretty sure Waystalkers have really good leadership. So they're getting in there, getting some damage. But they do get knocked over, but yeah, I think they're going to get it. Yeah, look at that. Shot Caller's active, it gives leadership. It's keeping him stable, but aside from that, Bounce of Power is massive. Now that Throt is off the battlefield, the Spellweaver of Life is going to be running back across. Man, that's huge. Army loss is kicking in, and Showtime with the victory. He's back on the board, and we have a contested series in the Grand Finals of ECL. Not Grand Finals, but the Grand Finals of this tournament. ECL Season 6, Qualifier number 4. Wow. Let's look at the value here. I'm really curious. Warp Ground, yes. Throt and the Packmaster didn't do too hot, honestly, in terms of overall value accrued, but they still seem to be a pretty disruptive presence on the battlefield. Mortars carried it, probably. Yeah, Mortars are just silly. Look at that, 2,800. Globe's got 1,000, yeah. And 500 here. Wait, wow, look at the value on these guys. 25 and 2,000, really, really nice. Deepwood Scouts did pretty good, too. Yeah, solid performance on both players' part, man. That was a great game. That was a great game. Really, really fun one. All right, now we're going. We're on single bands now, too. We're on single bands. GG, well played. Oh, okay. Hold on. So Showtime is saying, I forgot to change my caster. Okay, so he didn't mean to bring a life caster. Yeah, that was like a mistake in his build or something. Okay, that makes sense. Brian Landers waking up at 3 p.m. with a mad hangover and a Turin stream. I got you, man. You're here. You're at the most exciting part of the stream, too. balls deep in the finals here. All right, so let's go ahead and do Rakto Ridge. I don't think is a very good map. Those like weird ridge maps are really, really obnoxious. Carrick Ungor is fine. Do Iron Sand Desert. We'll do. We did Iron Sand already. Let's do a weird one. Let's do the Golden Monolith. This map is okay. All right. Ice Power saying he really feels the nerfs. Good. They probably were needed, to be honest. Yeah, so we're going to do the Golden Monolith here. It's a fun map. It's a fun map. Brood Horrors took a lot more damage. Yeah, Brood Horrors got a mass decrease and a couple other nerfs as well. Yeah, yeah. So the Lifecaster was a mistake. Yeah. But he's still... Yeah, Throt against Wood Elves is interesting. I don't know if I like him that much in that matchup. He's so vulnerable against the missiles and like infantry and stuff. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to get some water real quick. You guys want Troll Country? Well, maybe we'll do that. We'll see. But this map is going to be the Golden Monolith, and I'll be right back in a hot second. All right, guys, we're back. Mr. Unspellable in chat asking, did I miss any Lizard games? You did. There was one earlier, I believe, with Migsa versus Showtime. So yeah, it was in the last best of 3. If you want to rewind and see that, yeah, you can check that out. So now we're back. I was just getting some water from the kitchen, so we're all good. Yeah, Falcon has been playing. Yeah, he already qualified. So for anyone just joining, just to kind of catch you guys up, let's see what the picks and bans are. So let's see. Yeah, so they're working out their picks and bans, which is fine. They can take their time. No rush. And looking here, these are the 4 players, who've qualified for the grand finals. So we have Falcon, Alfredino, and Imperator, a super strong selection of players. Like, those are some nasty, nasty opponents to have to face. So they're going to be making it to the grand finals of the ECL. And in today's tournament, we have Ice Power facing off against Showtime here in the finals. Ice Power defeating Void Laws 2-0 and Showtime defeating Migsa 2-1. And the winner of this will be qualifying for the grand finals and will be joining the likes of these bad boys right here. So that's pretty much the plan. It's the plan, man. No, we're doing it. So I'm curious. Okay, so we got Showtime picking High Elves. And now we'll see what Ice Power Total War picks here. We will see. Christian Bender, if he chokes on a pair, does it mean he's impaired? Oh, that's pretty good. Damn, dude, that was good. Nice. Nice, brother. Very good. Did Packmasters did they get a speed reduction too, Hadries? I don't recall. I gotta go check the patch notes out a little bit more. I was in the middle of moving when they came out, so I was like, I didn't get a chance to really sit down and go through them. Yes, this is a do or die here though. It's a Golden Monolith. We have the giant Golden Monolith. I actually really like this map. It's like one of the few maps where I feel like the terrain isn't like oppressive. It's like, it's just kind of cool. A lot of times on maps, like the terrain is like super annoying. Because obviously it was designed with the AI, fighting the AI in mind, right? The AI, you know, isn't, it's a little different, so. Ice Power loves Golden Monolith. Look at him. He's stoked on it. Well, apparently Showtime doesn't mind it, so. Still 95 speed, yeah, okay. Dude, Dob pays. I know Dob did pay earlier. He donated a fat hundy. Super generous. Yeah, but I like this map. I feel like it's good. Both players kind of have a hill to work with, and yeah, some neat stuff. They were complete anyways, says Dav. Yeah, probably so. This is basically the Pillar of Gold, yes. Ice Power was going to go Vampirates. Yeah. Well, honestly, Vampirates here aren't bad. You can go Mortars, man. Like, mortars are really good against elves. You can even do Queen Bess and, like, hide her, like, behind the terrain. There's some sneaky tricks you can do. But, you know, he's going to have to improvise, man. He's going to have to improvise. Throt lost 10 melee defense. Ooh, that's big. Yeah. Well, it's okay for you, Hadrius. You don't even like using Throt anyways. You use Deathmaster. So you're still cackling and Skaven over there. What will he pick? High Elves. So Ice Power has played Dark Elves. He's played Empire. And then yeah, and then Skaven. Dark Elves, Empire, and Skaven. So against High Elves, I mean, you have a number of good choices. Let's see what was banned. Bretonia was banned, so you can't play Bretonia. I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of good choices to play. High Elves are, you know, High Elves are an interesting one. I'm trying to think of what their hardest counters are. I mean, I guess High Elves are good, though, too, because they shut down the Undead factions to an extent. They're pretty good against Tomb Kings and, more importantly, Vampire Counts. You just can't play Vampire Counts into High Elves. It's, like, so lopsided. Yeah, Oscar, we're in the finals of this ECL. Yeah, we are. You can hide Queen Bess with the caster item that gives it stock. That's so funny. So Ice Power is going to scheme the matchup, which is cool. We'll hang tight. We'll chat. We'll hail the mighty. We'll do it. You can repeat picks of in terms of bans. Yeah, it depends on the tiebreaker. Like the tiebreaker one lets you repick things or reban things. Excuse me. Yeah, Throt was pretty beast mode before. He was definitely a menace. Throt was my favorite lord to use. Honestly, I'll probably still use Throt quite a bit. Although I think we might start seeing more Skrulk and more Deathmaster and things like that. Yeah, the Brood Horde nerf. Yeah, I think it was, you know, Skaven were pretty scary for sure. It almost felt like they didn't have too many weaknesses. Like they were even beating Vampire Counts like in a lot of tournaments I was casting, which was originally a really hard matchup for them. How busted would Vampire Coast be if their mortars were like Poison Wind mortars? Oh my god, yeah, that would just be horrible. Yeah. Could they be like unbreakable too, right? Yeah, honestly, I don't hate Vampire Coast on this map. I don't. I think Vampire Coast would be fine. I mean, it's usually mortars against High Elves anyways. And, you know, you could always bring a Colossus instead of a cannon just to get a little bit more height and variability. So, Brood Warlord is the way. Yeah. This is the final of this qualifier, yeah. This is the finals. So basically, whoever wins this will be qualifying for the grand final of the ECL, which will be like 5 or 6 weeks from now. Yeah, I'm going to have another ECL during the middle of the week, so there'll be one. I'm thinking about doing a nighttime ECL that starts at like 5 p.m. my time. So people, because there's a lot of people who, because of the times I do it, can't participate. Folks in like Australia and other time zones. So I'm going to do like probably a midweek, like 5 or 6 p.m. ECL. So we can get folks from other time zones to play. And yeah, so that'll be happening this week at some point. We're going to be streaming almost every day. Streaming is my favorite thing to do, so I got to do it. Yeah, I got to do it, man. There seem to be, let's see, the rest. Yeah, Skaven have pretty good lords for sure. I mean, with the exception of freaking Tretch Craventail. Yeah, speed, high mass, good, you know, poison, good armor piercing, summon. Like, he has all the things you need to be like a really nasty lord for sure. Greenskins could be good. Greenskins are good against High Elves. Yeah, he's going Greenskins. Cool. Showtime just readies up. Now, we saw Showtime play this earlier. We saw Showtime come in with the dreaded quad sister, I think. But I think he was playing Avalorn that time. Yeah, but Showtime is going to go High Elves against Greenskins here again. Greenskins are considered to be favored in this matchup, for sure. But I'm curious to see how he'll change his build. Or is he just going to go full balls to the wall and keep the same build and like challenge Ice Power to like, you know, change it up? Hank Cyrus, the midweek ECL would probably be a little bit tricky for Western Europe because it would be like the middle of the morning for you guys, like 3 a.m., 2 a.m., you know, 4 a.m. But almost every ECL I do is focused more on, you know, US and European time zones because most of the players are from those regions. But I want to do one to allow some other folks to attempt to qualify. So they're making a Necromunda FPS. Oh, that's kind of cool. I'll give it a try. Yeah. I'll give it a try. Yeah, he was playing Avalorn, wasn't he, Mr. Pig? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Because he had Dryads. And I think he didn't bring Larry. He brought like a Spellweaver. There's a bunch of ways. High Elves can play this in a couple ways. You can go heavy cavalry focus, like Silver Helms and Dragon Princes can do quite well. They can really dominate greenskins into the cav game. Full Kite can do well. You can get like 3 or 4 Reaver Archers and then a bunch of Silver Helms and cavalry and not like fight the greenskin infantry and just try and pick them apart. There's a number of ways you can do this for sure. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. If you paint your keyboard and mouse red, does it make you a better greenskin player? Most likely so. Your units will certainly move faster. Oh, hey, Lola. Hey, Lola. One of my dogs is here. Hey, you're a good girl. So this is our other dog, Lola. She's the Chihuahua Terrier. She's our little troll. She doesn't like... The reason I never show her on stream, though, is because she doesn't like being picked up. Like, she gets afraid when people pick her up. She has, like, a phobia or a fear of it, so we never pick her up. So I can't get her in front of the webcam for you guys. Lola. Yeah, she's good. She's a good girl. She's Wookiee's minion. They have a funny relationship. Yeah, she's like eyeing the door, seeing if Anna's coming. It would be cool to see if little flags where players come from, like on chess.com, how they have that. Yeah, I think that's fun. Yeah, dog cam. Maybe we'll set up a dog cam eventually. You know, I could set up a little like dog bed next to my computer and then... You guys want the dog cam? Yeah, okay. Well, I'll see what I can do. Lola is very, like... She's not the prettiest dog. She's got a very interesting person. I said Lola is not the prettiest dog.
Oh, baby, no.
You know you agree with me.
Rue baby is like me. Maybe not the prettiest, but
Oh,
beautiful
please.
in her own way.
You're beautiful. Lola, I don't know.
Because you have to pick Rue up so that she can put her weapon.
No, she doesn't like being held. Yeah.
Yes, she can do it.
Yeah. The great... Yeah, Wookiee is definitely the alpha of the pack. He tries to...
I think you misspelled Lady Turin.
Alrighty. Let's shut this. My Chihuahua Pomeranian got dropped so she doesn't let anyone but us pick her up. Yeah. I don't know what it is. Wookiee cam would not be safe for work. Yeah, no, we'd have to put like a warning on the stream. X-rated. Yeah, where is he? He's back in the corner being a little trundle. That little guy. Your cat hates being picked up, but it's too polite, so it just makes pitiful sounds. Oh no, poor kitty. Yeah. All right, here we go. We're all set. Yeah, Lady Turin was trying to compare herself to Lola. It's absurd. Lola is like just the creature of creatures. You guys may have misheard me. I said Lady Turin is beautiful, but Lola not so much. Yeah. She tries, though. She tries. I'll say it. Wookiee, yeah, no. Wookiee is a creature for sure. God, I gotta get the webcam set up for you guys so I can show you that kind of stuff. Wookiee is a little broodmaster. He is. Well, Wookiee's a nurgling. He's like some little, like, disgusting creature that just, like, makes a mess everywhere he goes and is just dramatic. Yeah. Yeah. Wookiee's ugly in all the good ways. Yeah, he is. Oh my god. He's such an unholy terror, though. Like, just like 2 days ago, like, oh my god. I don't even want to get into it. Alright, guys, and here we are. The battle is upon us. Ice Power Total War. Trying to close out the series against the dreaded Asur, the High Elves. His battle line's going to be Orc Boys and Goblins, and he is going for the quad Stone Troll once again. Stone Trolls do pretty well, for sure. But again, Silver and Guard, you know, can hold their own for some time. But yeah, it should be interesting to see how the Stone Trolls do. He's got a little bit of Spider Riders, a couple of them, some Spider Rider Archers on the other side. I feel like that's just like every Greenskin player brings those, and Grom the Paunch. So, you guys are doing it. You guys are doing it. And now for the High Elves here, we do have an Arcane Phoenix. Arcane Phoenixes do magic damage, which does get countered slightly by the magic resist on Stone Trolls, but they also do fire damage, which counterbalances it, and have good AP, so pretty much is a wash. We got an Archmage of Death, interesting, and a Mage of Life. We have Reaver, Archer, Cav to counter skirmishes, We have Swordmasters, Phoenix Guard, and 1 Archer. It's like this build is like a sample platter. It has a little bit of everything. It's got like Spearmen, it's got Swordmasters of Hoeth, it's got Phoenix Guard, it's got all kinds of shit. I'm curious how it'll do. Certainly some sniping potential. I mean, Arcane Phoenixes can really do work against Grom, but this deployment a little bit rough. The Greenskins are going to be on him very quickly here. So good luck, have fun, and let's do it to it. Let's do it to it. The players are scheming. Yeah. Spider Rider Archers. Yeah, they're probably one of the most annoying units in the game, for sure. Them and Chameleon Skinks. I think Chameleons are a little bit more annoying because of their missile resist, but Spider Rider Archers are probably in the ballpark. Yeah, probably in the ballpark. Am I seeing what, Nick? Oh, by the way, we share a name. You have Ramsey Bolton there? Yeah. What am I seeing? Oh, are you talking about Wookiee? Okay, there's some Wookiee. Better watch out, Lady Turin's here. She is the defender of Wookiee. Yeah, Lady Turin definitely has some good. She's got good ride. She's a great rider, so she can really describe the Wookiee in all of his glory. All right, guys, and the battle is underway. The Greenskin Horde is going to be moving forward. Spider Rider Archers immediately going to start poking the Archmage of Death. Look at that, Armor of Stars. Oh, but the Vindictive Glare already went down, I think. Very, very quick there from Ice Power Total War. Now, the Bolt Throwers are 100% just going to shoot the Stone Trolls. Unfortunately for the High Elves, all 3 shots miss, or it looks like the 3rd one just makes contact, but so far, not getting there. Zypho says, I fear it won't stop for OP Stone Trolls. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, there are spears. The archers here are... Okay, these are sisters, and there are Phoenix Guard hiding in the back as well. So, yeah, that's something. I mean, there are some tools against the trolls here. And the skirmishing phase is going well for the High Elves. So you can see the Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archers do get crumped down by the Reaver Archers. And, you know, if he can break trolls, the High Elves do also have some tools to chase things off. The Swordmaster is an interesting tech piece, maybe just kind of there to have something against Black Orcs, but as far as what I'm seeing here in the battlefield, these Swordmasters are going to be an absolute waste of gold. Stone Trolls will massacre them, Grom the Paunch will troll them. There are so many things that are going to be relatively rough in that particular fight. But the Sisters are doing okay damage. Stone Trolls like getting tickled by that Bolt Thrower, but the Bolt Thrower really, in this particular deployment position, maybe if it was a little bit further back here, it'd be able to actually do something really significant here. But I think in order for Showtime to win this, he's going to have to get some really good picks with that Arcane Phoenix and some really good breaks. So now we do have Phoenix Guard moving in, and also the Arcane Phoenix moving to attack the Stone Trolls, while the Silver Helms hammer the Goblins that are advancing in. But on the top of the battlefield, we do have Spider Riders kind of waiting. Reavers are sitting back here to defend, but yeah, there's a lot of greenskin pressure in the back. 1, 2, 3, 4 Spider Riders, and that is going to be tricky. So, nice Arcane Phoenix dive. Spirit Leech going down. They're terrified and broken. We'll see if the greenskins can kind of follow up and chase them off the battlefield. Grom the Paunch has gotten into the backfield and is causing some problems, while the Spider Riders do dive on top of the Sisters, and the Reavers then countercharge. But that's a nice pick. Stone Trolls getting broken off here, certainly a good start. The other Stone Troll is actually in bad shape too. So if the Arcane Phoenix could, you know, follow up and break off these trolls, or if there's got to be some pursuit to finish off those Stone Trolls there. But it looks like a little bit of a gooning attempt on Grom the Paunch, but that's really dangerous. Swordmasters, just like I articulated, just absolutely terrible. Barely got a Goblin down to half health there. And yeah, the Greenskin Horde has gotten through the gates, and you can see the Greenskins really pulling ahead in the balance of power here. As the High Elf build, maybe a more defensive Phoenix Guard build would have been a little bit better. Those Swordmasters really just did not hold against the onslaught of the Greenskins. And the entire High Elf backline in shambles. Probably a GG, a very early one. Let's see if the players are saying GG. Yeah, not quite yet, but I think it is at this point. A nice little bombardment. Phoenix Guard will hold, but there's so many Stone Trolls with good armor piercing. We do have Grom the Paunch. You know, the Archmage of Death isn't going to be a big, you know, playmaker here. It's just going to get trapped and probably killed in this engagement. And once that happens, I think that's going to be game blouses, in the words of Prince. And Sisters are still in the backfield. Haven't seen Sisters be terribly effective today, although in the Avalorn game they did get some okay value. So far they've gotten about 400, but now they're on the run. There's Spider Riders chasing them. The Greenskins really just dominant in that respect. I think we needed to see some like Dragon Prince play, some Silver Helms, a little bit more of something that could take advantage of the Greenskin immobility there. But yeah, Stone Trolls really just did some brutal stuff. That was some serious damage. And there you have it. Balance of power getting real nasty. That is going to be the series, it would appear, for Ice Power Total War. And, you know, he certainly does deserve it. Ice Power Total War has gotten to the grand finals of this season's ECL several times. He's come so close to getting there. And finally, he earns his cookie here, as he is going to be advancing on as the Archmage of Death of Showtime pays the ultimate troll toll there against Grom the Paunch. And that's that. GG, well played. A nice game for sure. A little bit of an ambitious build here from Showtime, but, you know, it had some teeth in some respects. I like the Arcane Phoenix gooning, but aside from that, it felt a little bit like it was like, yeah, it's like one of each unit. Spearman, Ranger, yeah. Yeah, very strange for sure. But, you know, that's that. Stone Trolls did their work, man. They took things to Pound Town, and Grom the Paunch was disruptive as always, and that is it. GG, well played. Let us go ahead and inscribe Ice Power's name on the Mantle of Heroes for the season. He is going to be going to the finals here. There you have it. Make his name all big and powerful here. And then we will go to the top 8 and write his name in. So let's add him in, man. Let's do it. It's like carving the name in the mountain here. Ice Power Total War. All right, is he here somewhere? We'll do Ice Baby. Ice Baby. Yeah, Stone Trolls are very good, but they can be defeated. But that high elf build didn't really have the tools to deal with them in those numbers. Ice Power Total War. Got to shrink the name down. All right, guys, and there you have it. That is our Season 6 Qualifier number 4 champion, Ice Power Total War. He'll be winning the cash prize for today, and he'll be advancing on to the grand finals for a chance to win the big prize and face off against the likes.
I love you. You know how many fat people I have to battle in Target?
Dziękuję bardzo. Dziękuję. Falcon, Alfredinho, Imperator, Ice Power Total War. A glorious run of champions. Hey, thank you so much, King Agizal. Release the Turin cut. Oh, that's funny. Thank you so much, King, for your donation. All right. Hey, Turin, how much do you think players' abilities has to do with victory compared to army builds? It's like you can put Falcon on a pretty suboptimal build, and he'll be able to beat even other high-level players. Like he can beat top-level players with tic-tac-toe. It's pretty balanced, but army building is really important in this game. It's a really big factor, more so than obviously a lot of other games. I couldn't give you a good ratio, man. I'm sorry, but yeah, army building is more important in this than a lot of other titles for sure. That is it. GG, well played. An awesome set of games. Congratulations to Ice Power Total War. He is our champion for today, and he will be going to the finals. Ice Stone Trolls. Yeah, I know. I feel like Ice Power should have to use some Ice Trolls occasionally, but you know, it is what it is. Big thanks to all of you guys for joining. That is going to be it. I am out for now. Dziękuję bardzo for watching the stream. Yes, indeed. And we'll be back soon. I'll be doing my campaign stream tomorrow, continuing the Rackhearth stream. A lot of good stuff on the horizon. Should be great. Thanks to you guys for donations as well from King Agizal, Brian Landers, Mike, not going to get me, Daspoon, Dov Plays with a fat 100. Dov, thank you so much. If you guys haven't seen Dov, make sure to check out his channel. He's truly an OG of Warhammer multiplayer. Gabriel Glenn, Caviaria, Oiva Metzola, Tewo, Matt Aries, Dean Horn, Super Dogham, and Lich109. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate all that. And if you guys enjoyed the ECL, make sure to drop a like on the way out. Helps quite a bit. And we'll be back. No, I got some stuff I got to take care of, Lich. But we'll be back. There'll be FFAs in the next few days. Don't worry. It's going to be good. So there it is, guys. Take care. Stay safe. Congratulations to Ice Power. All hail the mighty once again. And we'll see you guys on the other side. Take care.